Good Friday morning, everybody. It's the first time we've done an actual Friday stream. Yeah. So we're going to be doing the same old, just 3 times a week now, baby.
More fun for you guys. Got to deal with us more. Got to deal with us a little bit more.
My energy is low. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of like just generic intro stuff to talk about really, other than a pretty spicy trade disclosure by the president.
Do we want to pull that up?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the actual article just to have an ease of a couple of graphics that the team made. But those of you who are watching on Substack, welcome. I know a lot of you are going to be new to the show because we just started doing Substack streams Wednesday. And you guys had a lot of good turnout. So for those of you just kind of sneaking in, I will be dropping another WhaleWatch exclusive discount to the platform. So stick around. In the next hour or two, I'm going to be flashing that shit on screen. It'll get you 25% off your first 3 months on the monthly and your first entire year on the annual. You can't find the 25% discount on our tools anywhere else. It's not available anywhere else, and it never will be. This is just for you homies who tune in to our show. So starting us off, just kind of out of the top, let me see if my non-Tucker setup works. Hey, it does, baby. Let's go. So right there, Anthony has on screen the actual disclosures that trickle into our site. You can see that on the politics page, which is part of the pro tier as well. But I'm going to pull open the article that I published yesterday on the Unusual Whales Substack. Those of you on Substack, you probably already saw this. Those of you not subscribed to Substack, head on over there because I publish flow reviews every week. We also have earnings drops, etc. every Sunday/Monday. But just yesterday, Trump released his financial disclosure, right? 3,642 trades. And now, majority of these reported late. A good portion of them came in March. Now, if you all recall, March, we were dropping significantly. I think it was the worst month since September 22 and the worst quarter for the S&P 500 since 2022 fiscal year. Trump was buying that whole time. And as you recall, a lot of that turmoil came off the back of the conflict in Iran, the war in Iran that our administration engaged in. All of the things going on in the Strait of Hormuz. But generally, 3,642 transactions in a 2-ish month period is pretty big for any politician. But this image right here on the screen, let me pop over here and make sure it's clear. It's clear-ish. I'm just going to open it in a new tab so I can zoom in. It shows the biggest notable gainers. Now, some of these are smaller size, but higher value. So if you look at Dell, for example, that's one of the ones I focused on. It's one of the lower big returns at 67.5%. Using this max invested range, though, on his entry, when he tweeted, he didn't tweet or post, it was at the White House event. When he was at the White House event for World War II remembrance, a little bit of Mother's Day tossed in there, he told everybody to go and buy a Dell, right? Saying that they're great. And that was kind of coming off the tail end of Michael and Susan Dell. They had pledged $6.25 billion to the Trump accounts that Trump announced quite some time back. Kind of in response to that. But we found out he already held millions of dollars of Dell at the time of those comments. And so in this chart here, this right there, that green arrow is where he said that. And it likely, I can't say exactly it 100% caused it, but right after he said those comments on national television, Dell spiked 12% intraday, reaching a new all-time high in the 260s, substantial new all-time high. And so, I mean, you know, We've written about these things numerous times at Unusual Whales. We have the congressional trading reports that I'm sure you've all seen. This kind of just feels like that with extra steps. I mean, if we look at the Dell breakdown alone, again, that was an expensive position, but smaller stock, smaller percentage gain. But if we use that upper end of that range of his reported transactions, he's up $3.45 million on Dell alone. And I'm not a big fan of that. I don't really care what party anyone's from. Both parties do this, as we've pointed out endlessly. You know, I'm really hoping for some of those bills. Unusual Whales has been quoted in a couple of them. I'm really hoping for some of those bills to go through because people can't be doing this shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's reported almost a month late, and the penalties it's a very, very light penalty. I mean, you make $5 million and you get a $15,000 penalty, $25,000.
It's nothing,
It's very minimal.
And that's it. I mean, late reporting, grown accustomed to it in that regard, but now that it's just so crystal clear, it's new data as of yesterday, Ryan. We posted all this stuff up. It hits our account. The instant filings are submitted and reported. It is not. It's old data in that he entered these trades months ago. Yes, but it's not old data as in access to that data. No.
Yeah. Typically, what I like to do is I kind of filter it by that notification date. Then you can actually see when we're notified of it. But then your trade date's over here. So that's what I like to do usually.
Marlon on YouTube said, "Is Snorlax human? Have you ever heard him laugh?"
I sent you that in the chat.
He's human enough that he even has a human face, homie. Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Now you gotta get him to laugh on a Thursday stream.
Yeah.
You gotta tell him to laugh on a Thursday stream.
But yeah, I mean, today's gonna be pretty much springboarding off of that. Go ahead. What were you gonna say about the buy sell?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I typically, like, personally, I like to look at the politician trades every single morning when I wake up just to see if there's anything new, and that caught my attention yesterday right away in the morning. I'm like, yeah, that is very unusual, and it's just kind of one of those holy shit.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah. That's a lot of disclosures all at once.
And the funny thing is that typically when he discloses trades, they're fixed income trades. So, like, this is something that really should stick out to you because it's kind of out of the norm for him technically.
Yeah, generally, I mean, anytime there's even an air of somebody maybe having information others, the general public doesn't, it gets me a little pissy. But I mean, he did a lot of these transactions while actively doing things that affected the stock market. I'm sure you've all seen the volatility this year in general, but in March it was very whiplashy with a general trend down. And not really anybody outside of him and his immediate circle could have known anything at all about stock movement regarding their stuff. Hey, Karsten, hang around for a while, homie, and you'll get one. Hang around. Once I got my code generated in about 30 to 60 minutes here, I will be dropping another 25% show watchers only discount. So stick around for that. It'll be 25%.
Can't argue with that.
I inhaled my coffee and it hurts.
Good job.
Well, all that bitching out of the way, let's look at some open interest.
Yeah.
I think what we can do also, since Friday's actually my worst trading day of the week and always has been, I think I just get the Friday giddiness and I'm like, I'm done with this shit. Let's move into the weekend, y'all. So I don't tend to really do scalps on Fridays much. But, I mean, we're going to pick on Anthony a bit again today, doing his MES practice. And
if there's a setup, I'm sticking to my rules.
Marlon, I think it'll work if you're upgrading from monthly to annual. It will not work on an existing monthly or an existing annual. You can't flip the subscription, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we'll see if there's a good setup. Yesterday was a very nice, easy setup on Periscope.
It was clean.
Absolutely.
It was clean.
Yeah.
And the fun part was, I didn't get my... So for those of you who were here on Wednesday, my TradeAvate account locked me out. And I finally got back in yesterday, but after the market closed. So I didn't even... I did nothing yesterday. I just worked all day yesterday. Got that
Fun.
article put out. If you're not subscribed to the Unusual Whale Substack, definitely do that. We put out some good flow read breakdowns. We put out general market data every week as well. And we're looking at scaling it up in the near future. So if you or anyone you know is a straight up editor with a shitload of experience, have them email Unusual Whales, because we are looking for a top dog in news/writing media. That'd be pretty dope. Plus, then I'd look cool if I found someone just like saying it on the show. It's like the dentist system, but for work. I'm demonstrating value. All right, let's look at these Poet. Poet has been one of the fun ones this year in both directions. Poet was one of the first ones we looked at. I even wrote an article on Poet with a huge breakout, exploding calls, and now we've been seeing back and forth bearish bullish flow as it kind of rides the wave up and down.
Poet, I believe, had earnings yesterday after hours. It is down 11% pre-market right now. So whoever this is, I don't know what that implied move
Dude,
was.
I just can't believe it's at
Let's
$20. Hold on. While you do that, I'm gonna go check on that article and see what Poet was trading at when I wrote it. It was a lot cheaper.
It's that implied move. It's a big implied move. We're still not even at that implied move. We're down 11.5% right now. Implied move's 11.86%. Absolutely.
Oh my god, bro.
Huge implied move. I mean, it's.
I'm gonna open up. This is the chart of Poet when I wrote about the explosion of calls.
Oh no.
You want to guess what it was trading at, quick, just off the top of your
Probably
head?
like $5 maybe.
It was when the flow came in. So here's the news that caused the pop. The instant there was a pullback, a shitload of calls hit the tape, and it did nothing but moon since then. So stuff was happening on Poet back in October, just chugging along, even though it's down over, what was it, 2% today? What'd you say?
11%.
11%. Goddamn. So that's probably
they had earnings yesterday.
Well, it's down 11%, but still up $10 per share since October. So if anybody was buying that shit in September or October, I'm sure they don't really care about that 11% today. But I just want to point that out. We've been watching Poet for months now, and it just seems like everybody is bankrolling.
We've had
in both
Flow
directions.
consistently hit it on the show too. I mean, we've looked at Flow. I'm pretty sure every episode on.
Poet has been a fun one. I mean, they traded this from 71 per contract to $1.85 per contract back in October for these $8 calls, and then again the $10 calls had the same shit. My scroll wheel has been broken for ages. I'm buying a new mouse next.
Time to get a new mouse.
That one, the $10 calls ripped for 206% for $3.4 million in profit. Like, god damn. I complained about not taking Poet back then. I'm complaining about it now that I know that's $10 higher after an 11% drop. Damn. But yeah, Poet's been a fun one. Ups and downs, lots of entries on both sides. And of those that I wrote about, there were like 5 other contracts that popped off similarly. So Poet's been a fun one to watch. Poetry, if you will.
Look at you. Dropping rhymes on a Friday.
That wasn't even a rhyme, but I'll take it.
Yeah, well, okay. Trying to rhyme there. I'll give you that. But yeah, I'm curious to see if it even hits that implied move for earnings there. I mean, it's tickling it there. I mean, down 11.62. That implied move's 11.86. So I mean, again,
12%. Yeah.
Good example here of, you might be really, really excited on your weeklies here right at open, but you got to hit that implied move. Otherwise, you're not gonna, that IV, and look at that IV on those 267%. That is just, I mean, massive there. That is, you're looking for a massive move on something like that. And, we have NVIDIA earnings next week. Yeah, a lot of NVIDIA flow coming in there. Again, just kind of with earnings, though. I take it all with a grain of salt. But, yeah, that 6/18/430 call got a lot of flow yesterday. Not pretty early there, but, I mean, 88% out of the money. That seems like a little kind of hopeful there on something like that. I tend to look at something like that almost as a potential premium grab. This one's a little tougher just with earnings coming up.
Man, at the same time, when has NVIDIA ever given a shit about anything?
Yeah, that's a good point there too. But yeah, I mean, like you look at the flow and it reads as a
Yeah.
buy, but it's 88% out of the money, really short dated. You need a really strong but I know let me see if I can go find that quarter on Nvidia. They
I
had like
mean,
a
the way Nvidia
30%.
moves and stuff too, though, it's like
Yeah,
I
like
wouldn't. I don't think I don't have the balls to short anything chips related, anything GPU, anything RAM, anything data center related. I don't have the balls. Even though I'm not a believer in the trajectory continuing, I think it's a little overblown. I think a lot more money's coming into the sector than it will generate currently. Uh, we'll see. I could be wrong, but at the same time, I'm not going to step in front of a freight train that's hauling ass like a bullet train. You know what I mean? Uh,
yeah, like
but yeah,
you need a move. You need a
the
move
20
like this
dude,
Q2
implied move
2023
6.
24.
Oh my god.
I remember that one because I know there were a lot of people that got weeklies on that one, and they're like just life-changing days on that, especially if they like actually traded it seriously. But
Oh, I
again,
gotta open up all the streams. I forgot we
it's
don't have a Tucker watching the comments, so I will do that.
I got YouTube. I got YouTube if you want to do the others.
Word.
I can kind of help out, I guess.
We're
I can do
gonna
something.
chat just recorded robots. Is chat is
And
live. All of that's live. Joe, you're not a robot. Get out of here, dude. Hey, Joe, let's set up
Joe named Joe.
a Joe named Joe. Let's set up a time for you to
Get
hop on
him
the
on
show with
here.
us, homie. Yeah,
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 get
yeah,
him
yeah.
on here.
It's overdue. It's overdue.
Get him on here, man.
Joe's a good dude. A Joe named Joe on Twitter, another Unusual Whales affiliate and homie. Good guy. But yes, chat's live, Zap. Sorry about that. We don't have our background helper today, and I completely forgot about that. So I got chat open. We're going to have a very flow review heavy day. Ooh, NQ just popped beautifully. I'm imagining ES is doing similar. Yeah. Not breaking the bearish pattern quite yet, but it's a nice bounce. But we'll be doing a lot of flow reviewing today. Maybe see if we have any trades we can put on for next week. Like I said at the top of the show, I have a bad track record scalping on Fridays, and we had a decent enough week this week that I'm not gonna nuke it and be pissed off all weekend. You feel me? So we're gonna be done with my scalping at least for the week. If we get some good Periscope setups, we'll make Anthony take some scalps on his prop practice here.
Gotta get that eval
yeah.
done. Gotta get that eval done.
YouTube asks, homie Prakash, is there any watch list on how to use your tools? You're damn right, homie. Right there on that YouTube channel, there's an education playlist and a site guides playlist. Both of those will be extremely helpful for you. And there's also I'll just type this one out, unusualwhales.com/information. This has everything from the most basic of basics of options all the way down to advanced strategies, etc. As well as a shitload of how-tos on how to use the site, how to set your own custom alerts, how to create your own watch lists, how to set up your own filters. Everything is in there. So that's one of the best resources for this, especially in the context of our platform specifically. But while we go along, folks, feel free to drop tickers and contracts you want to look at all morning. We're gonna be jumping on that. So feel free. We'll be around. And if I don't respond right away, don't worry about it. The chat doesn't disappear for us. I know the Twitter chat disappears for those of you on mobile. It doesn't for us. I'll see it. We'll get it going. All right, what were you looking at there, Anthony? Let's start trucking along.
These I spotted these earlier yesterday. I may or may not have sold some premium on after looking at these.
Didn't you sell some Microsoft premium too?
AMD calls.
I'll drop that link for you guys on Twitter and Substack here in a second.
I'll show you the one that I did here after, and I'm looking pretty good now. I mean, they're pretty much worthless now. I've sweated a little bit for a couple days, but
I just love seeing people selling premium because I don't have the balls to, and also not a whole lot of retails doing that. At least smaller guy retail. You know what I mean? So it's pretty dope to see. I like seeing different strategies.
Yep. These and I sent these to Snore yesterday too during the stream. I mean, pretty textbook kind of bid side put on the Ubers here. IVs decreasing throughout the flow. Your spot prices decreasing. Pretty clean put sell there. And kind of seeing these from yesterday. Let me just pop this up to yesterday here. I should have took the calls to go with it. Like what I like to do with flow too is kind of find other flow to go along with it there. Those 612 Uber 74 calls came in too. Those made an outstanding move yesterday. 290 up to 385 there. And just kind of one thing I like to tell people too is, you're up significantly. Like if you tailed this whale 290, these are trading up at 385. Just because that whale's still in doesn't necessarily mean you need to still be in. Take profits, be smart with your trades. That's because you don't know what these people are doing fully. Like it's the flow can look 100% perfect, but you don't know. It could be part of another multi-leg somewhere else there. But it's yeah, I saw those calls yesterday, and I'm like, dang, I should have got those along with those put sells. But I don't like to overload on one name specifically, but yeah, I keep an eye on those. Those 717s are 16% out of the money there, and Uber just had earnings, I believe. Let me go back here and look. Back on 5/6, so we don't have earnings till August 5th there. So no, at least scheduled major releases on it. So
All right,
something
I
I
dropped
am
those
watching
links for
there.
everybody in all 3 chats that are hanging out with us. Site Guides is the first one, then your General Options Education playlist is that second one there.
And we are open.
We are open.
Man, I was gonna try to take one of your fancy quick piss breaks here before open, but man, that 20 minutes went by quick, man.
Too damn bad. Looks like you got to hold it for the rest of the show.
Nope. I'm gonna pop these up and I'm gonna run up there real quick here. Give her a little refresh here. All right, if you want to hit him with the screen, I will be right back.
I'm going to hit him with it. And for the first time ever, it's not me. Oh, ignore that code. It will not work. That's an old one. I got to delete that. But I will be dropping a new one here shortly. That code that you just saw will not work. That one is long since expired. But we'll be dropping a new one in the next half hour to an hour, so stay tuned for that. But I have a couple of flow requests, so I'm going to go ahead and start chugging along on those. For those of you joining just now, I personally don't much trade Fridays except for flow. So we're going to look at flow there, but Anthony might be taking some future scalps using Periscope that you see on screen currently. But let me pop open my feed here and let's start breaking these down. I'm going to start off with that NBIS request. So let me pop this bad boy up here and we'll start off there. And then once he gets back, I'm going to let people know the market is open and we are trucking along with flow. Let me get this on the 2-day. Let's see where these came in. We've got nearly 5,000 contracts there in one fell swoop. It looks like of all the volume yesterday, 5,700 total volume yesterday, basically only this order carried over here. This one order. If you look at that, it's about 4,500-ish contracts. 4,500-ish carried over. So this position stayed open. About 1,300 of yesterday's volume was gone intraday. So let's see how these started out for us. I'm going to set this to 250 results. Scroll on down. Here is our big order right here. Looks like a bunch of tippity taps. This little guy's kind of small, so I'm not going to worry about him too terribly much. They're all about 1.5 to 2 minutes apart here as well. But the biggest order came in. Ask side, but it's close enough to the middle here. I don't know how I feel about it. 180 was the fill, within a bid-ask spread of 157 to 192. The implied volatility goes up a little bit with that order, and then again with the next order, but that's only one contract, which is kind of inconsequential to the size that we're looking at here. The next one's come in at a perfect ask fill, and then we've got more perfect ask fills here with, again, a spike in implied volatility with each set of orders, then a little bit of a drop again, a little bit of a spike again. I would lean BTO on these. I'd lean buy to open on these. But when we get those crazy wide bid-ask spreads, it takes away the confidence a little bit for me. But these are all perfect ask fills as time has chugged along into the day yesterday. I'm leaning BTO. One thing to note, though, is they're 32% out of the money. And on a $200 some odd stock, that's a substantial move. In the last month, it's moved about 40%. These contracts expire next Friday, though. I don't know how I feel about NBIS ripping 33% by Friday. And currently, sneeze. Jesus. Currently, these contracts are down significantly from those fill prices. The only thing that's making me not lean on these being sold to open most likely is the way that implied volatility rises with each order that comes in. Anthony, I'll let you touch on that a little bit more too, because you look at applied volatility a little bit more. When I look at the price of the stock and how far out of the money this contract is, I almost want to make the assumption of short, but that IV's thrown me off a bit, as well as these, again, the bid-ask spread stayed pretty wide and they're still feeling at perfect ask price. I'm hard-pressed to say.
How far are those out of the money?
32% with a week to
for
expiration.
7 days. Yeah, that's. I mean, you better hope you're getting a big news drop on something like that, because that's a hefty move that you need there. What is NBIS doing right now? NBIS is flat, up a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of something that far out of that money with a short time frame, because theta is going to really eat those contracts away very quickly.
Yeah, they're going to get munched on pretty quick there.
Especially if you don't get a move over the weekend.
But right now they're
especially
down.
Over the weekend.
They are down significantly from those entries. Yeah. I hope for their sake those were sell to open, because then they're in business. But it's one of those that I think is kind of hard. The price structure of that. Who the hell's longing 30% out of the money with 1 week? It makes more sense to me from a structure point of view and a trader point of view that these were shorted. But yeah, your mileage may vary. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have bought these personally if I saw this flow come in. That's too far out of the money and too close expiration for me. And I mean, the price is currently just tanking.
And
it's tanking with no closure too. I want to point that out. Like they were at a high of 235 yesterday, currently trading as low as 93. That's substantial drop. And I mean, the amount of money that went into this was over $1 million. I guess if it's, not a Joe Schmo like me, maybe that's nothing to them. But I feel like it's much more likely that these were shorted in terms of price structure and expiration date.
That far. It's almost like those kind of short-term 7-day, you see it come in at the ask, but it's like 40% out of the money. I'd bet more on them selling that premium than actually expecting something major to happen. Because I mean, if you're expecting something major to happen, I mean, 30% out of the money, you still don't know if you're gonna, even with a 5-6% jump in the stock after theta decay on those, you don't know if you're gonna see profit. Like, you're gonna probably get something a little closer to the money, a little more reasonable, at least personally. But people do some strange things sometimes.
Also true. Ooh, this TLT is interesting.
Yep, this is one of the ones you dropped. I
TLT
saw there.
Is from the L Beauregard on YouTube.
Yeah, these. So keep in mind too with like TLT, it's a bond ETF there. So I mean, it has a lot to do with. You have to be kind of in tune with the macro data that's coming in, just kind of rate hike expectations, all that stuff impacts TLT. So that could be a whole episode on its own, but just kind of the little brief thing. We'll leave the FOMC guys for that one, but these look interesting here. So yesterday I would have been kind of interested to see how much of that volume carried over, and it looks like most of that carried over here. So I do want to look at that original 513 entry here. Just gonna see how that looks there, and it's coming off a multi-leg here. So this is part of a multi-leg, and it looks like it was a roll because your 7-day
rolling
contract got rolled out to that 626.87 call. So that's interesting. I wonder if
market instantly turned around off that pop. By the way,
did it?
Yep, the Nasdaq is down. 140 points from the high on that rejection.
Jeez.
Right back below my 29,181 support.
Did we? Let's see. I just want to look at Periscope. Oh,
yeah. We shit it on. They failed to hold that 74.30 on the back
Oh
test and just
yeah.
kicked out the floor. Now, most of our setups down, and after a day like yesterday, that kind of makes sense. We're starting off the day here down over 1% on the S&P. I kind of suspect 7400 might get a little tippity tap here because it's got such positive gamma buildup there with more built up below. Our next update should show us how that repositioning happens during this drop. But if they kick out the floor on that, there's a lot of room to the downside still. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. There's a lot of support here after the couple of days of just running. We had a pretty big down day that turned into an up day this week as well. So these ranges tend to play out, but we'll come back to this after the TLT and take a look at how this updates on the next interval. Those of you who use Periscope or have seen it, we got 1 minute intervals coming very soon. So just hang tight. We're gonna be having that thing punting shit around. And it's gonna be beautiful.
Oh God.
And I will
Don't
overtrade
get me
my ass
excited,
off
man.
until I get used to updates that quick.
Don't get me excited on a Friday, man. Yeah, these TLTs look like they've been rolled a couple times, or kind of some different legs in there. So that was our new position here. They rolled it from that one there. I almost looks like maybe selling the calls possibly there. I mean, that's a big cross trade. I'm gonna assume here.
Yep.
Yep, big coming from a
And
big
guess
cross
what?
trade,
It's
and
also a roll, isn't it? No, 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 not a roll.
you know, interesting. Yeah, there's a little too much kind of going on this one, I'd say, to get a
Oh, that shouldn't
clear
have said roll
direction.
down there. It can't be a roll. They're
Yeah,
puts. It could be a wheel.
that's yeah, very odd there. Yeah, I
TLT is
wonder if
another
this big
toughie. I'll be
one.
honest. It's kind of like looking at SPY flow where you got a lot of hedging and shit going on.
I'm just like, yeah, there's just too much going on with this one there. I mean, too many different multi legs. I'd probably look for something different. Again, TLT, it's your bond ETF there on the 20-year, I believe. I think this is your 20-year. I don't know. Don't quote me. I don't usually trade TLT, but yeah, like I mean, again, that's why you need to kind of go in there and look at the flow. Like, you just look at this face value here. You're like, oh, 25,000 contracts at the ask. It's a buy. Like,
Yeah, I don't know enough about the
it,
bonds market to mess with TLT.
yeah,
Raw
I'm
flow can be
straight
helpful,
stocks.
but I mean, when it's bonds related, you got to imagine there's a lot of hedging going on. A lot of these
Yeah.
spreads are being built around raw positions they might have elsewhere. TLT's a toughie.
Yeah, you got to be really in tune with the macro environment on something like that.
And I'm
At
not.
least.
I'm an intraday scalper, so I don't really look all that far ahead unless I have like a really spicy piece of flow. Usually,
Well,
even
there
my
is a
flow
new
trades are
TL.
usually like a week or two tops.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not patient on those, 100-day out contracts. The most I like to hold, a week and a half, week and a half, and I'm just, yeah. I don't have the patience when I can just scalp it intraday and almost do the same
Right.
thing. Unless it's on MES on here where I get screwed on like 5 entries, but hey, whatever. They are hitting that 717.86 call for TLT since we're kind of talking about it there. We do have a lot of prior open interest though, so I just want to kind of see how that looks in here.
We've also still got SPX puts coming in. Our net put premium is ripping. It's at 78 million, and the net call premium's at negative 101 million. And it looks kind of like SPX is about to take that leg down to that 7,400 level. It's getting there. It's about 10 points away. It's all negative gamma until 7,400. And take a look at that shit, Anthony. We built up significantly down below. 73.75 blew up again. Way more positive gamma positioning there, as well as 73.70. So some of these upper range positions are moving down. 74.30 stays inflated here. So we could be looking at a really wide range from 73.75 to 74.30 as a place we might try to close today. We'll have to keep an eye on it because all of this can and will change. Market makers don't stay in positions forever. You feel me? They are constantly rebalancing, trying to stay delta neutral. That 73.75 is just glaring at me, though, Anthony. Look how much buildup there is right below it as well. That would be
Yeah.
batshit if they tested all the way down there.
Oh, with the
73.35 built up? Hot damn. Now I'm going to switch
with
it
the
to
way we've
0
been
day
moving though.
only. Even on the 0 day only, man, it's very similar. Most of the buildup is below. 74.30 is still strong up there. 74.60 has a little bit of juice coming in with that last update, but most of our buildup is still below, and the options market agrees with it. Look at that. Negative
Yeah,
105 million net call premium, positive 80 million net put premium. Might be a spicy day. Maybe I chose the wrong day not to trade on Friday, but that's okay. I'm gonna be good. I said I wasn't gonna do it, so I'm not gonna do it. You gotta risk management. It's almost more important than making money to begin with.
You still got some time if you do decide. If there's a clearer setup, I mean, it's aiming down. I just don't like chasing the market when it's down 1.25% there. I mean, this thing can pop back
Hey, when
quick,
I'm in short
I
mode,
mean,
dude, I will
it's
chase.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense either because I won't chase a long, but I'll chase a short and be perfectly happy with it. All right, new low of day, SPX. Folks, as usual, keep punting your flow requests in and we'll keep getting to them. I did drop a couple of contracts in our chat there from Marlon. Marlon 413 on YouTube.
Cool.
Oh, that was
take a
SPX,
peek.
homie. I don't really. So all I'll do for SPX is I'll kind of like, I'll just look at massive trades on it while we're moving. But for the most part, the only SPX flow that I look at is gamma positioning. And then like, if we start getting slapped the shit out of us with puts or calls, regardless of motion, I'll have an eye on that as well. But for the most part, I just use gamma. Up there in the top right of Anthony's screen, you see he's got some momentum filter going on. Still haven't figured out why that one specifically doesn't refresh, by the way, Anthony.
That
by
one,
all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
I fixed that one.
Oh, you did? Good shit. Good shit. Good shit.
Yep. I Juan sent me his. I
Oh,
thought
for
his was
sure.
something
Juan's
special. He's like,
his momentum filters are pretty good.
yeah, his is. It's very. I thought his was gonna be a lot more detailed. He's like, no, it's just.
And read them and
750K
weep.
premium.
Periscope is undefeated yet again. They're 7,400. Now, the buildup is still below us, y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if they just kick the floor out here and turn 7,400 into resistance. But if I was short right now, I would have trimmed the majority of my position there and left a runner. The reason I would leave a runner is because even though we've got that heavy 74.30, the buildup is still below. The flow, if you look at Anthony's screen, has one call amidst an absolute sea of puts. I don't like how a lot of those puts are so deep in the money, though.
Yeah.
But I would expect some turmoil here for sellers. Kind of get hung up a little bit on 7,400. But if they kick that floor out, there's a lot of levels below that they can target here. That would be nuts, though. That'd be like a negative 2.5% day.
Good example, too, of that negative gamma zone there, too. Look at how that price accelerated through that there.
Yeah. That's kind of the premise of the negative gamma zones when you're stuck between two heavy positive gamma zones. Price tends to gravitate toward those positive gamma zones. The red tends to, the theory behind it tends to act as acceleration to that end, and today it's playing out beautifully. You can see they tried to bounce it up, rejected the heaviest negative gamma between here and that 74.30. A clean rejection too, like right off the line perfectly at 74.20, and then just knifed through all of that negative gamma. We're now below 7,400. If buyers can't get it back above that, I would almost be targeting as far down as 73, 75, just like we mentioned earlier. But we'll keep an eye on it. I expect a bounce here, at least a short-term bounce.
Look at your market tide too. I mean, just puts ripping, calls just dipping. There is. I mean, that top net impact is coming from at least NVIDIA, which is pretty much your biggest driver there of the S&P 500 there. I mean, that's I mean, there's, and I always kind of like keeping an eye on that top net impact chart too, just to kind of see how many names are driving that move there, because you could see a little. If NVIDIA improves a little bit there, you might see a quicker bounce on something.
Dude, the
there.
Micron negative premium is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. Like, I mean, I think if we look at yesterday's top, like, this is what I like to see, like, to kind of continue a trend more. Like, you have a lot more names kind of contributing. Even here, I mean, a lot of kind of put premium coming in on a lot of those names there, but
Oh, you're
for intraday
tired?
scalping, I
Why
like
is your...
to kind of
Oh, you're
see
looking at
what's.
yesterday. Okay, I was
Yep, yep,
so
yep, yep, yep.
confused, bro. I was like, your tide is so far off, it's not even funny. But nope, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Just like
I
the
was so
just
lost
like
for a
my
second.
my dome table there on
Yeah.
Wednesday. That was why I'm just like, what are you talking about? Just that was wild there. Let me pop up that float request here. Sorry, I was just trying to
Yeah, no
catch
worries,
up
no
on a
worries.
couple morning
We're trucking
things
along, dude.
here.
It's Friday. It's Friday, fooling. I'm tired. You're not as tired as me today for once, but we're vibing. We're chilling. And then we'll have a couple of blanket requests from Death by Exposure, who spits in the wind. All right,
Cool.
man. I
So
see
let's
you.
see. We did the NBIS and TLT already. Let's do VZLA $4.17 call. So this one, I'm going to assume you're talking about yesterday's volume that came in, which carried over. Big chunk of that carried over there. I mean, about 90% of that
VZLA.
carried over there.
Oh, dude, I was gonna say Vizsla like the dog, and the company's literally called Vizsla.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Um, this one, I'm not getting. Oops. Shit, I gotta go back. That was from yesterday. I was like, what am I doing? Yeah, not a ton of context in that flow there. You almost have a descending fill here. I mean, same exact time there. You're getting a descending fill there. IV's dropping a little bit there. I'm kind of cautious on that. I don't like seeing that. These are 13% out of the money. Obviously, those, really small
Yeah.
sub $5 stocks can move very quickly. I'm I'm
I'm
personally
usually
not a fan
uncomfortable
of
with penny stocks. But I mean,
yeah,
the flow itself seems relatively clean. That
yeah.
IV drop is very interesting.
I don't like that spot price drop either. I mean, that's your same exact timing there
Hmm.
too. So I mean, it turns into a midfill technically. So I mean, kind of almost no, and it does overlap earnings by 1 day too. So
Does. Let's actually
who
save this one because my initial knee
yeah.
jerk reaction is long. Despite that IV drop off, that's not necessarily a result of quote unquote a sell. It's more price based as well, and it dropped $5 on the fill from the prior fill. That's definitely going to move IV down, even if BTO, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then if you look, even though the
It's,
orders are significantly smaller, you see it pop right back up as orders continue
yeah.
filling. I'm almost inclined to believe bro got a lucky fill and then continued.
Yeah, I wonder if there was anything else on it
It
though.
being at the same time
Let's
stamp
just
from
see.
two separate locations also raises the eyebrow a bit. And we have several days of call buying too. Look at that. The
Yeah.
7th, the 8th, the 12th.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
Hmm.
put buyers. I mean, we are down a good chunk
They
today, but
are. But I mean, it's $4 call. 50 cents on a stock like
yeah.
this isn't gonna be groundbreaking. It'll look cool because of the
Yeah.
percentage gain, but it wouldn't be groundbreaking. I don't know, man. I'm still leaning BTO on those. Look at that way back in April.
Let's. Yeah.
What is that?
Seems like we already kind of
Yeah,
moved
I
up
think they got their
after
move.
that.
But if
Let
you
me
notice, we're not seeing any kind of massive drop in call premiums after the fact. So I almost wonder if that position's still
yeah.
open.
Let's
That's
go see. So
substantial.
what
That
is
is
this?
substantial premium on a stock
427.
like this. Because if you
The
notice,
fuck.
the contract we were looking at also flagged a low volume floor. This is a ticker that doesn't get a whole lot of options action. Uh,
Looks looks like they expire today, whatever they are. The
and
515
they're
4
deep in
call
the
and
money. So let's
yeah,
see
let's
if
just. Oh,
there's back on the
interesting.
27 today 11. That looks kind of in and outy.
Yeah,
Look how cheap they
let's.
were back then too. Maybe it's just trying to get a
That
quick premium
was
snag. And you could see that open interest
427.
dropping significantly day over day after that. I
Yeah,
think that was
that's.
short. Look at
Yeah,
these
that's.
closures. There's 10,000 that fell off
Yep.
there, 5,000, 2,000 there. I think these were shorts and they were trimming this shit off on the way. Uh that's what it feels like to me. At
That's.
least that initial order of about 20K.
Let's look at that 3 call here and see how that one looked. This one's, I mean, a little better there. But I want to look at that
They
kind of
noted
5-5 and see what
they're
happens
exiting
there.
into the dip there as well.
427. 27. Yeah, a lot of look at that. 5-5. Yeah, that I think these might have been short and they're
I
buying
know,
them
I'm getting
back
that
in
vibe.
there. That almost kind of makes me think
A little bit of
now
exiting
that
into the move. I don't know how I feel about these being long anymore. It could be them flipping their sentiment.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
that's I want to go back to today here. I just want to let's see where was our other big day. So this is today. Okay, we looked at yesterday. Let's go look at the 12th here. I want to see what was the 12th kind of look like there. And not really anything interesting. Looks like probably multi-legger. They're very similar size. I bet you they're related. What do you want to bet?
All
What do you
right,
want to
just
bet?
real quick. SPX did exactly what I thought it would around that 7,400 level. We bounced right off of it, and bro, we're already at the top of that range, 7,430. If this turns into a roller coaster day, it's going to be really annoying for anyone other than range traders. But again, even with this massive bounce off 7,400, which we called 7,400 basically at the open, got there pretty damn quick. They're now back testing 7,430 from below. If you're a range trader, this would be a relative area to look to short, but I would keep stops tight because we did have a little bit of build up at 7,440 and 7,460 above, although the majority of our positive gamma is still down below. So right now the range is quite wide. We're pretty early in the day, not even a half hour into the session, and we've already traded an SPX range of 7,450-ish, 40, let's call it 45, just to be undershooting a little bit. From 7,445 all the way down to just below 7,400s. 45-point range in half an hour. Pretty wide. I almost wonder if we're going to get some headline risk today just in general, because a lot of tweeting tends to happen into the weekend.
Man.
A lot of tweeting tends to happen. If I were trading today on Friday, I would probably short this with about a 5 to 10 point stop.
I am thinking about putting a little short on here. I hate when we're coming up to that update time.
It can really go as high as 35 and stay bearish.
Yeah.
So I would short here personally with a stop above 74.35. But I'm not trading today. I'm being good. Especially since I was pissed off about my Trade account getting locked.
You know what?
There we go. Here's a pop. Let's see what they do at your 74.30 here. If you're short, you want them to reject this with the quickness. Little baby rejection there. We'll keep an eye on that. If you're trying to get spicy, though, this is where I would do it with a stop pretty tight. But you know me. I paper cut losses, add into winners. Instead of trimming winners, I do end up trimming them, but I add into them first. That's a nice little rejection there. About 4 points down.
I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to wait for the update. Because I got a feeling there's going to be
happening, but there's a lot of support still.
Yeah.
We'll
I got a feeling there's going to be a significant change in this area. I just got a little tickle, so I'm just going to,
We'll see. It's forming one of the little shoulder, not even shoulder. What the hell do I can't talk, dude. It's today Friday or Monday. That stair step kinda, but there's no stair stepping happening, so I can't call it that. But that rejection is clean. I would already be trimming this short as we move into here, as we move into this negative gamma zone again, because this could be an inverse head and shoulders here. Let me set this time frame. Look at. There we go. They could be trying to hold several supports here. Basically, every single one of these negative gamma levels, if it doesn't accelerate like it did right out of the open here, that acceleration is what we look for through these zones. If it doesn't continue, we're going to start seeing some support building here in this wide range we're in. So if I was short, I'd be trimming a little bit at each inflection point and then leave a runner for a new low of day. That's how I would play this. And don't worry, on Monday you'll see me doing it again. I'm just being responsible, practicing sound risk management, and forcing myself not to trade today on Friday. Fridays are my
Yeah,
worst
that's
days. I'm not going to push it. But look at this rejection. We're already down $15. 15
yeah.
points on the SPX from that rejection. Buddy, I think they're going to range it today. Let's see. I want them to kick out the floor because I'm better at shorting than longing, so I like to see that happen. But they failed to reclaim 74.30 on that pretty spectacular bounce. Hard rejected. This is what someone who mostly shorts likes to see. If they lose 7,400, I still have that 7,360 way down there just kind of staring at me, man. But that would be nuts, though. Like, that'll be like 2% day, won't it? Pretty damn close.
Yeah,
50 points down
I'm
from here. We're down 89 points for negative 1.2. That'd be pretty damn close to a 2% day.
yeah. The short was the right move, but I
Nah,
just kind
it's
of
no
figured
harm
after
being
that
no harm being
after that
patient.
big pop, I figured there'd probably be a significant change in this area. We'll see in a couple minutes. Let me finish at VZLA. Well, no, yeah, VZLA. Those, yeah, we'll come back to those. I almost want to lean short on those
I
after
do
kind of
too
seeing
now.
that
After we
previous.
saw
I mean,
those old positions and the way they closed out, I'm
yeah,
leaning that way, man. Well, let's definitely save
yeah,
it just
we'll
to
see.
revisit on Monday
Yep,
to see how they panned out.
yep. Well, it might
I
be a
got that
little
same
longer than
lean.
Monday.
Yeah, that's
63 days
true.
out.
This ones
We'll
are those
see.
last ones were a lot
But they're
closer dated on their fills. So I mean, I don't know, man. Today's
getting kind of
flow is all
clapped right
bid
now.
side, but it's also only 200 contracts. We're sitting on
Yeah,
15,000 open interest. That's kind of inconsequential.
yeah.
What's
Nothing,
up, Jose?
nothing
Thanks
there.
for coming back, man. Are you Jose or Jose? So I don't insult you if you're Spanish speaking Jose or if you are a Portuguese speaking Jose.
Well, you wait for your answer
Yo
on
hablo
your
los
correct
dos.
pronunciation. Jesus, man. Now it is Friday for me.
Dude, you're getting my flub mouth. It
I'm.
has passed on. It's
Yeah.
contagious, brother. Jose, he says. All right, homie.
There you go. So CRM looks like you got a couple blanket requests in here. CRM. Let's kind of look at today. We're up
We will prioritize
2.5%.
straight contract requests, but that doesn't mean we won't do generalized tickers. So feel free to share them. Just know that specific contracts will get priority because they're a little easier on us. But this is mostly education. No, I got that shit backwards. Hold on. Whoa. Pump the brakes, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. Our show is mostly entertainment with some flair of education. And Snorlax's Thursday show is kind of the opposite. A lot more education. Honestly, his shows are better, if you ask me. And I usually have a bias toward myself because I'm an arrogant prick. But his shows are a lot more important than ours, I would say, on Thursday.
His shows will be better if he starts laughing at his shows.
All right, let's tackle CRM here.
Yeah, CRM just not a lot for premiums, just kind of more so. I mean, a lot of bid side call premiums kind of dropping off here.
Actually, real
Put
quick,
premiums still. I mean,
I've got an announcement to make.
ooh.
It's an important announcement. Everybody, you're going to see some text pop up on screen. And it's a very short text, but you're going to see it. I had somebody ask at the top of the show if we have any discounts for the API. I'm going to do you one better, and I'm going to give everybody tuning into WhaleWatch today a 25% discount on any tier of any subscription type. And this thing's going to end like a few hours after the show, but it's only available to you guys who tune in. Oh, would this work? Why am I being bullied here? I'm getting bullied by I'm trying to build the suspense. I'm trying to build the suspense, build the excitement, and I can't do it.
You even got me to show a little emotion.
I know he clapped and everything, dude. Oh my god. 256 is the size, huh? That's nuts.
You do that. I'm going to look at the update here.
All right. On the screen, in barely visible text. That code on stream, right on the screen here, folks, will get you 25% off your first month of any... No, not first month. Jesus, I can't even do my own sales, bro. Today is not happening. 25% off any tier for your first 3 months on monthly, your first entire year on annual, and that works on every retail tier on the site, be it API, be it Flow, be it the whole ass platform, that works for it. For the Periscope that you see us scalping every day, that is in the retail pro tier. 25% off, folks. You're not going to see it anywhere else. This is exclusive to folks who tune in to WhaleWatch. Nobody else gets this. You guys are special, and you're kind of cute. Feel good about yourselves. But the code is STREAM25. All one word, no spaces. All one word, no spaces. For 25% off any tier. First 3 months, first annual. I'll flash that again later if you missed it. I don't know how you did. I screamed. But we'll keep that popping up every now and again here and there. Bada bang. So there's your API discount, homie. Jump on that shit. Joe, we'll be on for another probably like hour and a half, 2 hours if things get spicy. But things will have to get spicy. Yes, BK, I mean the Thursday one. The Thursday Unusual Whales live stream that Snorlax does, where he does a lot more flow reviews. His breakdowns are clean. We dick around a lot.
Yeah, we usually interrupt each other every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's you know, you get some education.
Coherent trains of thought on this show aren't super common.
But like it's easier when you're, you know, streaming by yourself to, you know, just focus on one thing. But it's so boring. I can't stream by myself usually. It's so miserable. I have a tough time in my afternoon ones by myself. I'm like, oh, who am I talking to? Yeah, that I'm looking at that update right now. A little of that kind of fell off down there, but it's still favoring that downside there. So I mean, you know, I'd remain bearish until you see a significant kind of change. But we're right in the middle of that negative gamma right now.
They can hold a higher low here, but I'm kind of expecting a little bit of ranging between that 7430 and that 7400.
Yeah.
Because again, they're the biggest inflection points of positive gamma we have. We've seen it test both areas twice already with rejections and supports respectively. Until I see a big change, we might be in range trader territory.
Yeah, I am gonna be hands off right.
But at any moment, a tweet can kick out the floor or blow off the roof.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
headline risk is real.
Now,
I'm expecting another tickle of 7400 here, but yeah, I think we're gonna be hanging out in scalper upsy downsy range trade territory here.
Seems like it's gonna be flow time for a little bit until we get a trade. I'm not trading in the middle.
In the middle, dangerous. I'm with you. If you're a breakout trader, you would long when they break out of the top of this range, meaning they turn 7430 into support. If you want to go short, you kind of need the same thing. You either need it to test 7430 from below again to short, or you need it to turn 7400 into resistance for you. Otherwise, this is a range trader's area here. And when you're right in the middle of that range, the 50-50 concept starts kicking in, and you're gambling a little bit. That's one of the things I have an issue with. I'll preempt my entries too much, but that 7430 entry for a short was crystal clear clean.
Yeah.
So was the test of 7400 for the long, man. Like, this range is strong currently. But we'll see. I mean, the day's still early. The market only been over for 36 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, see, it seems like I am just keeping an eye on that SPY premium there. That call premium is kind of tickling up. I would like to see that net volume trail along with it there. But my 0 DTE here, both are sitting bid side pretty much right now. So, I mean, man, I think we might kind of chop in this range, man. That's kind of how I'm seeing it right now. But again, like you said, you know, a big headline can come out, and we can...
One Trump tweet yeet could send this violently in either direction. That's part of that March volatility we were talking about as well. And I had some fun during that. Yeah. Now, not happy with what's happening in the world. War is dog shit bullshit. Doesn't benefit anybody but the elites. But I had some fun with it.
I mean, hey, you got to make the best of them.
Bellmandor, get out of here. No, you didn't. He's like, I tried Stream 100 and it worked. He's like, I got free membership. Get the fuck out of here.
I need to use that code real quick here. Discounts, man.
You're an affiliate. You already got it, you piece of shit. But you're also a lifetime whale anyway. You got something like that's not even real anymore in like 2022.
Hey, you know what? I showed my faith and I went with the lifetime because it was such a great platform.
Yeah, and back then the lifetime was like crazy affordable too.
Yeah, I think I got it on a Black Friday discount.
You got a straight up steal. No, lifetime is not
Hey,
available before chat starts begging for it.
no.
That's not a thing anymore.
Lifetime is available if you'd like mine. I charge a lot though. Use my login. Nick's gonna see 20 different IP logs in from my
From one account.
CRM here. So again, please be patient with the flow request because as you can see, we do not like to stay on topic.
We're not good at it, man.
No, it's yeah.
I would say we try, but we really don't.
Yeah. I'm not seeing much for new contracts. It's kind of a lot of zero DTE stuff here. Nothing really directional, I'd say, in here. 515, 180. Again, just split bid and ask there. And I mean, 4% out of the money on a zero DTE, that's almost a little kind of, selly there. And there's a lot of open interest on these already, too, where you don't know who's doing what in here.
How far out the money
and
is
especially
that?
on a 8% on a zero DTE. So
yeah,
yeah, that's. I mean,
Salesforce does some weird shit though. I gotta say, but I don't. Maybe
or 4%. Sorry.
If we see some crazy headline one direction or the other, I'm gonna start throwing shit.
Yeah, anything can happen. Anything can happen every day. I mean, you just gotta be aware. I mean, take the smart trade, but don't, be smart if you're taking something really risky there. You don't need to take a full position and like there's no way you should be taking a full position on a 7% out of the money, zero DTE on a 185 call. That's super messy. These do have a lot of open interest on them too. I just kind of want to see. Oh, yeah, I wonder if they were short those calls because look at that. Look at that. Oh, I can get a little closer. Yeah, it's 5 and closed at 2, or they're trading at 2 there. I mean,
that position is still mostly open though.
Yeah. Oh, big multi-leg. Looks like modified trade as well.
Modified trade
too.
there.
Let's just see. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Huh. It's probably flagged weird because of the modification. Check the timestamps of those. 2 minutes apart.
Yeah, about 2 minutes apart.
The second one canceled, not the first one. So that second one is the one that the exchange flagged as canceled. I think it's canceled, not modified. Because the one that's not canceled or modified came first.
Nonetheless, this is junk. Just the easy thing on that. I mean,
we've got a specific contract request on FCell 24 call for June 18. Fuel Cell's been coming up a lot lately. I know Snorlax talked about it on yesterday's show too. Fuel Cell's a popular name
June
lately.
18. You said 6/18/24 call?
Yeah. That's weird that still shows Vizsla up above though.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here? Not a whole lot going on with this one. Offsides yank.
Yeah. That's why I kind of questioned Nick there. I was like, is this?
There's not enough really volume or open interest on this specific contract to formulate any directionality. Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Plug's up there too. They're both energies related, both plug and fuel cell, but I can't remember what plug does. Let's go to the overall fuel cell because I know there was other flow. We can still look at the ticker here, but there's nothing at all going on that contract, Yank.
Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of zero DTE stuff coming in. Some
check these high OI ones because I know those 15s that expired today had action.
Yep.
Some
back there,
small trims of the big position up there. It looks like, but this built up over about a month.
Yeah, they built up again. Good example here. Let me go back a little bit. No,
Joe mentioned that end phase has been spicy lately as well.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of kind of fun. I think there were some questions there with Snore Stream on end phase too.
SPX is taking another stab at 74.30 while we're talking. I'll pull up end phase on the back end here.
Good example here though. I mean, a lot of this coming in at the bid doesn't necessarily always mean it's going to be a buy because look at how that thing absolutely pumped there, and they're 28% in the money. So just kind of always be cautious there. Yeah, I'm not. Let's just see. Let's look at these 19s. Yeah, those
Yeah,
look to
Joe,
still
Enphase
be
is
in.
absolutely batshit crazy right now. Like on the 30-day, it's up 60% plus.
Yeah, a lot of this volume has been or open interest has been sitting here. I mean, since end of April there. You can go back 30 there. I mean, look at this thing. 129 up to 904. These are 38% of the money. Like you're not chasing this. I mean, you should
Dude,
not be
god
chasing something
damn.
like this. Like I this isn't a financial advice show, but I'm giving you
Holy
my
shit.
personal advice. Like, do not chase this.
I'm not
Do not
spending
tail that.
$1,000 on a
No.
contract that some whale entered at $1.29. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
Oh
absolutely
my
wild.
god. 100% gainer in
Yeah.
a month. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Whoever made this trade, fuck that guy. I said it. I said it.
Probably had a good idea of something that was going to happen. I'll kind of go with that.
I'm still
there.
kicking myself of how many times we've talked about Nokia ever since it was like $5 a share, and I never once bought a call on it.
Yeah, all these highest open interest ones have moved. I mean, look at that bid side guy there too. This is actually one I don't like to say this right now, but I'm selling some premium on FSell there on some longer dated, like
SPX is
40% out of the
trying
money.
for it.
Who are we?
Sorry to interrupt yet again, but we are
Ooh.
right back at 74.30.
Ooh, we got an update.
Yep.
I'm going to take a short here, I think. I think I might take a
You
short.
gonna big ball it? You going for the range?
I think so. Let me just see how it kind of tickles up against this here. Where are we? I want to say maybe
a lot
we
of
touch
that's
that
falling
V
off
up.
above still. We
Yeah,
had one
that's
flip
what I
way
like
up at
to see.
7,500.
I'm going. I'm
it's
in.
not heavy though.
I'm in.
Going for it?
I'm in.
I like it.
I'm already
I like
in.
it.
I am not putting a stop on either. I'm just gonna watch and I'm gonna flatten it if it.
Oh, he is swinging it heavy. Let's do
shit!
this.
I bought. Oh.
Oh,
fuck me,
Anthony!
dude.
No!
Oh my god! No! Oh fuck me! Oh, I'm.
Close it there.
Come on, Yeah, hey, there we go. Look at that.
Fucking...
All right.
Now watch it moon. Oh my god, that'd be funny. Holy shit,
Dude,
that'd be hilarious.
I still cannot get used to that.
You'll get it. You'll
flip
get
thing.
it.
Oh,
Right,
there's.
we're watching it
okay,
bump up against that last bastion of negative gamma here.
Oh,
if
all
this
right,
rejects good and clean, I think that'll be your new entry for it. But this is pretty strong buying off of that 7,400 test. And they're now above 74.30. If they take out the high of day, I expect we're going to see a lot of gamma repositioning to the upside in the next update in about 5 minutes here. 74.45. I don't know about that quite yet. I personally would risk it here if I was trading today. This would be my short with a 5-point stop on SPX. What's MES look like? I would put your stop at high a day on MES.
Yeah, I got my VWAP. I'm watching my VWAP here.
Fair
that
enough.
is my
See if
stop.
they reject it for you.
God, I shouldn't have probably got back in after that little mess up
You got
there.
break even in like pennies. You're all right. You're all right. But yeah, my stop if shorting this pretty vigorous buy back up would be basically high a day. I don't want the ES to set a new high a day if I'm trying to short here. And it's a pretty good managed risk. It's about 5 points. Yeah, about 5 points from your entry, give or take a few pennies.
I'm watching that.
They're getting close, but keep an eye on it. They have some momentum on buy side right now. Interestingly enough, premiums are not mirroring it very much.
Yeah.
Massive bounce off the bottom on that test of 7,400 on SPX. Put premiums are still inflated, and net call premiums are not reacting to this whatsoever. So keeping an eye on that high of day if you're somebody who likes to short these pops. 74.30 needs to turn back into resistance, or I think they're just going to be moving the range a little higher again. Let's see if they give us that clean rejection.
Tickling the VWAP right now. Tickling my VWAP right now.
Off 74.40, you're going to want a really firm rejection if they get there. Right here, right now is what I would want to see with how I scalp short. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it's going. Let's
see if they take them out.
Let's see, we're getting
close. It's got a little momentum there, but if they give you a really strong top wick on this 1 minute candle.
I'm looking for that little rollover right here. Just a little teeny rollover. Come on
Yep.
back down.
They've got good places to test down there
Yeah,
at
I'm
like 74.40. I would probably take it off and wait for a re-entry personally here. They're tapping
Yep.
high of day.
I'm out.
There it is. All right, good
I'm out.
management. Good management. Losing is
I'm out
something
there.
y'all got to get used to, and so I'm glad we lose every now and again on the show, because for a hot month there, we were on a win streak, and I was worried because it was kind of creating unrealistic expectations that we were like 90% hit rate for the first 2 months. Losing something you're gonna do, and you got to get used to that shit. Now, right here,
Especially
right
with saving
now,
those calls,
on
man.
SPX is where I would take a stab at a short, but I'm not gonna. We see that negative gamma, or sorry, that positive
Yeah.
gamma at 40 falling off toward the negative side. What I don't like for the longs further into the session here is all of that positive gamma above is falling off on the 0 day. All of it. So 74.30 is staying strong. 7400 evens is staying strong. And then we still have those strikes way down to 73.60, even 73.35 that are building up on the 0 day. What's Monday look like? Monday's got heavy at 74.50. We talked about 74.50 at the open, so we'll have to see if they even get there. But I don't care about 4 days away. I only care about all
want to re-enter
and next.
If we break through this VWAP here to the
7,500
downside,
did build up a little bit.
I might take it if we break through that VWAP to the downside there.
I don't
I'm
hate the
watching it
premise,
there.
but you know I have a pretty inherent short bias.
Yep.
And I
we'll see.
I see the potential for short here. That's why I'm still walking through it. If I don't see the potential for a short, I generally just stop looking. My brain works so much better for shorts. I don't know why. I see the longs. I'm just an idiot and don't take them.
I am kind of keeping an eye. I want to see what happens up there at that 75.05 and 7,500 on this update here.
On ES,
and that might help me.
Oh, you mean okay, way up there on
yeah,
SPX. I see what you mean.
Yeah, just see it kind of.
If I shorted this, even on SPX, my stop would be high of day, and my first target would only be that 74.30. Just because of how strong it is now, they've retaken it to the upside. If it back tested the 30 and held strong again, I'd probably long it. But right now, I'd be looking for a really firm rejection to short, and we're not getting that quite yet. I wouldn't want to preempt it, just because this buy pressure is just as aggressive as that sell pressure was down to 7,400. And so now I'm kind of expecting them to play out the whole range. That was a lot of buying. 7,400 was the cleanest entry of the day. That short wasn't even a clean entry. We were down at the open already. That short was not a clean entry, even with the way gamma was built up. Now, the second stab up was an okay entry. That was about a 30-point, 20-point drop from the bounce there initially. But right now, buyers have taken control.
Yeah,
that gamma up to 7,500 built up a little as well. Yeah. I'm hands off here. Well, I mean, I'm hands off today anyway. I'm not taking trades until Monday again. But
we'll see.
Right now, 74.55 is becoming a new target here now that they set a new high of day. And there's not a whole lot of support or resistance above. Right now, we just have supports at 74.30 and 7,400. The full target would be 7,500, and honestly, that wouldn't be insane. We're down that much today. Not unsurprising in the current market environment to see it take out the high and the low. And they've already taken them both out. We'll see what they do as far as the overnight session for futures. They might take those out too. We'll see. Still down 0.75% on SPX. All right, we've got to flip at 74.60 here.
Yep.
Got to flip at 74.60. Not anything coming off of 30 and 7,400 evens. So, you know, we're entering another, just like we did to the short side earlier, that wide negative gamma range. We're entering one that is new. This is now becoming a negative gamma range from 74.30 to 74.60. They might do some shenanigans akin to what they did this morning between 30 and 7,400. That's why it's important to keep an eye on this every update, and why it's really important and exciting that we're getting 1-minute intervals. It changes intraday. Market makers are repositioning. Like I said, they try to stay delta neutral. They're repositioning throughout the day. This will update to show that and reflect it. Once we have 1 minute, I'm going to be punting shit back and forth. But let's see if they get all the way up to that 74.60 and set that new 30-point range. The fun part is that the first range was also 30 points.
Yeah.
7430 to 7400. Now it's 7460 to 7300. Let's see what they do. I would love for those bulls of you who aren't in this off of the 7400 test. I would love for a back test and firm hold of that 7425, 7430 to get long to 7460. But if they just go, I'm not a chaser. I don't chase longs. And they could just go. They absolutely could. Like I said, we're in that negative gamma zone here. Price tends to accelerate through negative gamma toward the positive gamma. The positive gamma is just not super strong up here yet. Really strong at 7430, really strong at 7400. We'll see what they do, but I would love to see these 55s, 50s turn into resistance for the bears, but buyers are in control right now.
Yeah, I mean that market tide is, I mean your premiums are not following along, so I mean it's just kind of, you know, I am eyeballing that, and I mean your net call premium on SPY is ticking up, and kind of like I was saying, I saw that net volume turn positive there, so that's a little thing. Man, I might kind of chase a little shorty down here to that 7430 and target that. I might get balls into that. You know what? I think I'm going to, and then target my VWAP there.
Emperor, I don't really know, to be honest. The whole GME eBay thing. eBay said get bent basically. But Cohen's been aggressive before. You know, he was really aggressive with Chewy. He was pretty damn aggressive with GameStop and still is. So it could.
Hey,
I'm
here
not
we go. I'm getting my target right now.
Oh, good
I'm
shit.
getting my
Let's
target
go.
right now.
He got right
I'm
in.
hitting my VWAP. I got it right at my
Beautiful.
VWAP. That's exactly what I wanted. Right there.
I think they might test as low as 74.48, but this is a good bounce spot as well. It's right around that prior high of day. If they bounce this good and firm, they're going to be setting that range. The pattern on SPX, firm rejection here. That's still my target, 74.30. If they don't get down there and bounce out of it, good for the Bulls. You did it. But where he exited would have been a trim spot for me with a runner held for 30. We've got this negative gamma below starting to gear toward the positive again.
We green on the day. Ooh, we're still down a little bit on the day.
No, that was a good trade. I'm not going to complain about that at all.
That was I mean, hit my target. I wanted that VWAP. That was
you got your 74.50 rejection, which is what I said I wanted to see. We got it, and he played it. Good shit, Anthony. See, I told you, you're gonna get the hang of futures. Eventually, we'll get you to hold the trades longer, but we'll get you there. It's gonna happen. He's very much an intraday options trader, so he has to worry about things like theta, takes profits pretty quick, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, that is a good thing. With futures, you can give yourself more breathing room because you don't have theta nuking your price just by way of time. You'll get used to it, I promise. You'll get it.
Yeah, I know. It's just a weird, you know, you're changing your mentality to like, hey, I'm trading 0 DTEs. I need to get out of these when I see them, especially as the day goes on. Like, yeah, I left a good amount on the table.
You don't have to worry about those with futures as much. The only Greek I pay attention to with futures is delta, and futures delta is not the same thing as options delta. Futures delta is buyers versus sellers. Oh, here we go. Here comes that target.
There you go.
Not quite, but that's already in close enough territory for me. If any of you saw the short on the Unusual Whales Instagram of me missing a profit take by 1 point, close enough, man. Just flatten that shit, take your gains. Right here, I'd be exiting here. We're above it still. This would be the trim, and maybe leave one contract in for the chance of really knifing back down to test 7,400 again. But we're in a range of support here. I don't know if they accelerate through it again. They might. They could. They probably will since I'm not in it. But that was a good trade, Anthony. Good shit.
You know, I totally forgot today's OPEX too.
Yeah.
Our May expiration. So I don't know why I blinked on that, but you know, just a little. Maybe pay a little less attention to the premiums there because a lot of repositioning going on too.
Do not plug annoying ass crypto shit, please. Another one, you will be banned. Don't do that. We are not doing meme coins on this show or channel. Meme coins are pump and dump scams, and I'll die on that hill. Please don't put that shit in my chat.
Do I want to get ballsy and try to take a pop here?
Hapin Derkar asks, what is your VWAP setting? I
My
told you.
VWAP
There it is.
setting.
There it is. Target hit.
There you go. There you go.
I'm
setting.
I'm gonna get you holding these shits. I'm gonna get you holding these shits. Now on longs, maybe not, because I am a pussy with longs. But with shorts, baby, I got you. I got you.
I like the longs more than shorts, so you know what? That
Yeah,
might
you know what?
be...
Once we have the futures only show up and running, bro, we'll have you longing and I'll take the shorts. We'll take turns as the structure changes. But that hit target perfectly. Go ahead and actually close that quick. Hover your cursor at the top of that red candle from the second drop this morning. Back farther. The midpoint one.
Oh, this guy right there.
Hover your candle or your cursor at the top of it. And where did we test there? I know my shorts, baby. I know my shorts. I would almost want to enter again on a pop up to your VWAP, because that right there, price action wise, is another rejection point for me for continuation. But I think they might stair step this down for you right now. But anyway, homie wants to know what your VWAP is. I just use an intraday anchored VWAP, and I don't really obey it much.
Yeah, mine's just regular VWAP too, whatever.
Hit the inputs one, the inputs tab.
Yeah,
he'll probably want to see that one. So he's got the high. Drop that down. I don't even know what the other letters are there. High, low. So you got session. Yeah, that's current session, which is fine. That's like normal. And then go down to the source. Drop down. Up. It's right under the one you were on. Yeah, right there. So he's got the high, low, and the close on the threes. So he's got just the default VWAP setup, which is all I use as well, but I barely use it. I'm not huge on VWAP. I use moving averages. I use 3 separate moving averages, but they're all based on the 7 and the 21 time frame. And then I have a smoothing average that kind of lumps the close and the current together. But I'm not trading today. I'll do a chart breakdown of how I use it as well, because my smoothing average, I had to use Pine Script to even make it, because they don't have the setting on TradingView, which is crazy, because TradingView tends to have fucking everything, but it does not have smoothing averages. And when I'm trading momentum to the downside, I need my smoothing average. Look at that fucking bounce, bro.
And I typically don't use, I don't marry the EMAs or VWAP. I just, have them on there for kind of, take profits. And
if they reconquer it and I'm in short and they take out that general range of my moving averages, I close that shit, because it's changing structure. Look at the bounce off 74.30. I'm going to put a GIF on screen.
I should have went, ooh, they are slapping the calls right now. Slapping the calls. Look, kind of chasey here from where we are right now. We got an update coming in a minute. We'll see. I wanted to hop in those longs there at 74.30, but we'll see.
This is me every time a short pops. You won't hear it, Anthony, but they will. You'll see it. You'll see it via
strike to claim it. A strike to claim it, and he got it.
That's how I feel when a short hits target. That's how I feel. And I'm feeling it right now, because that was a picture-perfect hit on the target of 74.30 SPX. I feel spicy now.
See, you should have traded today. You should have traded today, because you would have been right on it, and then I wouldn't have took that short, the first one.
Dude, I'm going to turn you into an intraday bear yet. Look, I'm not a market bear.
Look at our update.
I'm certainly not a market bear, but I will be... Greetings from Brazil. Muito prazer, cara.
74.30 dropped a little bit there, and that 7400 grew again.
How do I know if price will be rejected or pinned by gamma? You don't. You don't know what price is going to do exactly at all at any time. This is context, and it's a tool, and it works, but nothing's 100% of the time. But generally speaking, green... heavy positive gamma tends to be where price gravitates. Red, heavy negative gamma tends to have acceleration toward those positive gamma zones. This short was the rejection of 74.50, and then it accelerated through that negative gamma right back to 74.30. That's the short we were looking at in the little cocky clip that I played. Earlier, we did the same thing off the open. They lost 74.30 with violence. And so that short became the target of 7,400 because that was where the heaviest positive gamma below was. And as you can see, they bounced right off of it and came right back up to 7,430. Now they've tested 7,430 from above. Gonna keep an eye on the gamma positioning up above to see if we're gonna get more changing, more heavy positive gamma building up there to set a new range. Right now, my hypothesis is 7,430 is gonna hold. And they'll maybe get a nice bounce into that next positive gamma level at 7,460. But the context here as well has a bit of disagreement. Call premiums are not buying it. Call premiums are not going up with the market move, neither out the money only nor all. So I'd be keeping an eye for another short currently off the same rejection, basically, with my stop above that 7,450. Right here wouldn't be the entry, though. I want to see if they can take out that last 5-minute candle on SPX at 7,430. But yeah, right now, they're just starting to set a new range above the prior range, which was 7,400 to 7,430. We did trade one of those, and he hit a nice short right there, too, off that rejection. So you don't know for sure, but once you start getting used to Periscope, you'll start to see the pattern and start trusting it more. You saw us lose one earlier. Like, you're not going to win all the time. That's not a thing. Not a thing.
And hindsight, obviously, it's hindsight.
Aonde no Brasil,
that I exited
cara?
on.
Você dá onde?
That short that I exited on would have been in some profit too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, your exit was fine. Your exit was fine. I was just, shorts are like all I do, bro. I knew that 30 was coming, and we got there. We'll get you used to not worrying about theta yet. We'll get you there because that in the back of your head definitely gives you some anxiety in your trades. I have it too when I'm in an option contract 0 date. You'll get used to it though. I promise you will get used to it.
I missed my entry there. I was really eyeballing that 74.30 there.
Yeah, dude. Pop I'm telling you, they're setting these ranges for the range traders today. We hit that first range all the way down to 7,400, back tested 7,300 from below. Jesus Christ, 7,430 from below, rejected for another short, then conquered it, pumped way up to the last bastion of negative gamma at the time at 7,450, rejected to backtest 7,430 again from above. That has held now. And so I'm expecting them to set this range, a new 30-point range, a little bit higher. But anything can happen. We've seen a Trump tweet yeet just murder a 2% day before.
Yeah.
Risk management,
yeah,
baby.
I'm eyeballing it. I probably won't touch anything unless we maybe get up to that 74. Get over here, stupid mouse. That 74.50. I mean,
I'm looking for them to range here a bit or kick out the floor. Like I said, put premiums are still up, but currently this is a new range here.
A little bit there. A little drop on that.
It's only about a 20-point range versus this morning's 30, but nonetheless.
You know what? You want to see me be ballsy? If we get to this 74.35 right now, I'm hopping in a
going for it.
And I'm gonna
Are you gonna put your stop right below that last low?
I'm gonna manually watch my stop.
I would put a panic stop like 15 points below just in case.
Just in case there's a tweet.
Yeah, I would rather get wicked out by slippage than lose my portfolio. Always, like Anthony, I'm going to tell you right now, always use stops on futures. Even if it's really far for a really brutal loss, always use them. I would personally put it below that last candle, the middle one that they bounced. That's where my stop would be, because you want that to be a stair. No, down farther, down way farther. Right above your VWAPs. Or no, your EMA.
My VWAP, but
your EMA.
Don't scare me like that. I was like, oh, what? Like in there.
Down, yeah, you had it in the right spot. Down farther. If you want to manually manage your trades in futures, just have an oh shit.
Hey, we're popping. Hold on, I'm moving this baby up though.
Buddy, not yet.
Don't do it. Nope. Trust my range. Trust my range.
I would rather lose trusting my rules than get stopped out early and watch it happen. On the 1 minute, if this were the NASDAQ, I would move it up, but ES moves a little differently than the NASDAQ. It didn't take out that prior high. There is an argument it can reject and come back down, but right now, it has formed that stair step. Where your stop is actually a little higher than where I'd have mine. I'd have mine at the bottom of that pointy long wick
This
of
guy
the
right.
farther.
Oh,
no,
that
down.
guy right there.
Yep. And if you're manually managing it, you're going to flatten before it gets there anyway. But the reason you need a stop on futures is because how fucking fast slippage happens. If there's no orders between here and way down at 74.24, you're not going to get a fill until 74.24. Now, that's a shitload of slippage on ES. Probably not going to happen on a day like today, but it can. So I always, every fucking time I put on a trade, use a stop on futures. It's an oh shit bar. Usually, it's way farther than I actually would stop out, but it's there as a panic button. Because shit moves fast when a tweet comes out. You don't want to be stuck in a trade spamming the flatten button as hard and fast as you can while we're knifing fucking 300 points in seconds. So always have a stop.
I'm going to move her up a little bit for some profits, though.
If they tag you out on your stop, that's fine. You can get back in. But you can't. You can't undo a 100-point loss on ES or MES or NQ or MNQ that you didn't stop out of because you didn't have an automatic stop. I will always use stops on futures. I've gotten my ass blown open like crazy on a 5-second move that came right back to baseline because I didn't have a stop and it liquidated the account. Use stops on futures always. Oh, even if it will make you lose $1,000 on that stop, leave it there anyway. Even if it's just a panic button, because shit happens, can and will. Some people will disagree with me and say, oh, stop runs. Cool. You can re-enter if you get run out. You can re-enter if you get stop ran. That's fine. You can't re-enter if your account gets fucking liquidated because you didn't put a stop and we knife 100 points.
We're bouncing on that VWAP too. I'm liking this.
I'll show you bouncing.
You will be in your maid outfit, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was just going to say. So for those of you new to the show, I ran a flash sale similar to the one I flashed on screen. Which I'll be doing again here in a second. If you're just coming in, I got a nice spicy ass discount for you about to pop up that is specifically only for Unusual Whales live stream watchers. But enough of you subscribed during the flash sale that I have to wear a maid outfit for a whole episode. So whether you see that as a reward or a punishment for signing up is kind of up to you. It's definitely a punishment for me, but we all know it's a reward for Tucker. He seemed pretty excited about it. Marlon didn't like that. He's got an uppy eyebrow. He didn't like it. Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. Tenho amigos aí.
See, like, this is me if I'm in... Oh, hey, we're getting a little move. I'm going to move this up just a teeny bit. I would like to see a little profit
na
on this one.
Brasília por ano.
We're getting the move. We're getting the little pop.
Rolling.
Okay, I'm going to move her down a little bit. Because she wants to pop there. She's holding that VWAP there.
No, I like
you know What?
I like it. I still would have kept my stop down below because there's a lot of literally where your stop is now would be for me if I wasn't in my re-entry to get in. And so if you put your stop there, I think that's a bounce spot. Now that said, they can just knife it down. But the reason I would put my stop still down at 74.48 is this can form that W pattern I talk about, that bullish W to keep going. But if you want to be safe, you can still set it below that last low, right where it's at now, right next to your blue buy candle. And then you can get back in. If they come farther down, you can get back in. It's your trade, your risk management.
I'm gonna hold her for a little bit. I'm trusting my range here. I'm trusting my support here.
And you can always get back in or switch. You're gonna be bouncing. I'm probably not gonna be bouncing. Maybe I'll do a little dance here and there. If I hit a nice trade, I'm gonna have to do like at least the cleavage push or something. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of weird ass celebration for it. If I'm doing it, I might as well go all out. Maybe I'll see if my girlfriend will do my makeup, and make me pretty. There are gonna be slurs in chat. I can smell it now. Don't use slurs though. You will get banned. You can make fun of me, but you can't say some weird shit because I will happily ban you. I think we might get another tickle of 74.30, but we'll see.
Yeah, that update, not really anything major. I mean, look at that little update. Just
a little bit fell off at 74.30, but not enough for me to be super excited. If they wick you out, I think you will have more opportunities to long. So if you want, you can be safe and move your stop to 74.55, which is below that last local low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right next to your entry arrow,
Right
basically.
in
And
here,
you'll
yeah.
take like a little baby hit below there. But if again, the way the gamma's set up below 74.30 on SPX, I could see a stop run wicking you out and going, but I think you're safe here. I like this. I still like this trade. Maybe they'll give you a nice little cup and handle to the upside on the 1 minute here. You do not want this current 1 minute to take out that prior low, because then the back test is going to be about 5 more points down. But right now I like
see,
it.
like
We're also finally
this is
getting
just
a little bit of call buying hitting the tape as well. Just a little.
like
Just
if
a little.
like if I'm in an option trade right now, I'm you're chopping. This is not what you want to see. Like I just gotta hey, it's not gonna hurt me. Not gonna hurt me to sit and watch it trying to chop.
Yeah. On the NASDAQ especially, my stop would still be way down there. But
I think I
yeah.
am gonna kind of move it down here a little bit. Just I don't want to get wicked like that on Wednesday before that big pop there. The
That was
upside
so
that just
funny. I will say,
like it was.
I did tell you to move the stop, but it'd be really funny if today you listen to me and just get nuked. That would be really funny. His face says it wouldn't be very funny.
Yeah. I don't like this price action, man.
Yeah, we're slowing down a bit. They're still setting that same range above, though. They can backtest below your stop currently and still say bullish, but I would rather... Yeah, those of you who are new and haven't watched me doing my NQ scalps yet, I take really quick stop outs and wide profit ranges. And so I'll add into my move and then trim as we get closer to target. But I'll usually only take 5 to 10 points of stop out, depending on how fast NQ's moving. I don't like sitting through drawdown. My brain doesn't work that way. If I lose $200 over the course of 5 stop outs, it affects my psychology less than sitting through a trade through $200 of loss. I don't know why. It logically makes no sense, but I'm an idiot, so it's what works for me.
Yeah, this price action is just
Hedge flow from
horrid.
Brazil.
Ugh.
Thanks for coming, homie. Maybe as you get more accustomed to our personalities and shit, we'll talk shit about Tucker and Anthony in Portuguese because they won't have any idea what the hell's going on.
All right, I'm gonna get a translator going.
Yeah, it's still in that same W pattern. We'll see. It's got a lot of back testing it can do. I think we've got decent support below. Yeah, give us some breathing. Plus, I mean, you're on a prop account anyway. The risk is much less than your personal account. You're vibing. It's going to be really funny if they take your stop out and then bounce again, though, because I still see the W currently. This right here should be a bounce spot as well. It's the top of the dip range earlier, but they can come pretty much all the way down to Anthony's stop and stay bullish. So keep an eye on it, man.
They're gonna tick me, and I'm the liquidity. I am their liquidity.
Marlon, I have a good link for you on that question.
Go.
And I'm going to send you an article that Snorlax wrote called Indicators of Unusual Options Activity. This article outlines things that quote-unquote are unusual in the flow and kind of how to regard them. That is the best place to start. I'll drop this in everyone else's chats here as well.
Shit, they're going to try to wick me. They fucking wick me.
Now, well, if they go below that candle, they were going to get your ass anyway. So keep an eye on this candle. See if they bounce out of it without setting a new low here. Below here, basically. I would almost long here and put a stop below it. Stop right below this 1 minute candle. Right back on 74.30. Stop right below it. Yep, you don't want that to go to a new low, because if it does, it's going to invalidate the W pattern I was talking about. Let's see what they give you. My target would be the top of that range you just got out of, which is about 10 points up from here. If they stop you out, who cares? You lost, what, 2-3 points on it? Plenty of opportunities will be coming. Now, I will say, the way I scalp price action works better on MNQ, but right now the gamma positioning on SPX matches what we're seeing in ES. Unless they take out that low where your stop is right now, we're still bullish. They can chop right here for a little bit and still hold that W pattern I like to see for longs. I like this trade. Keep an eye on it, though. Manage that risk really tight there, about 4 points of stop out with a 10-point profit target. We'll see what they do here. You want this to really take out that wick one more time. If it doesn't and they stop you out, we're into our waiting period again because they're still inside the wide range of the day.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it, though.
I mean, this is my spot here, 74.30.
Your spot. Trust
this
the
is
pattern. And if the pattern doesn't work, who cares? Just take another one. Next trade. One thing I will say, I'm not huge on prop firms. We've talked about it before, but one thing I will say about the Top Step guys is they're pretty good about educating risk management. I like the terminology they use. They say you're paying the market for information when you're losing. If you're following your rules and you lose, you still won because you followed your rules, and now you have information from the market to take your next trade. I like that mentality. And so if this one ticks you out as well, take a 10, 15-minute break from trading, let them set up the range, show where they're going to go and what they're going to do, and then you can get back in when you get your tests again. I don't like that opened below the close of the last 1 minute, but we're vibing here. They can chop here for a bit and still W up. I like your stop. I like your target. Good trade, good risk management. Dude, it is just slowed way down. What's our volume? Volume's drying up a little bit too, huh? NQ's making the same pattern here. But I told myself I'm not trading today, other than potential flow.
Mil.
I'm being a good egg.
And I haven't even heard that many dings for flow.
I got mad all week because my Tradeovate account got fucked up for a bit. I couldn't log in. Pissed me off. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to keep my decent week and move into next week for my scalping. But here we can watch Anthony win or lose again. It is slowed way down here. This range is getting really tight. Look at this. Look at this little flag here. You really don't want it to take out that 1 minute. It did. All right, let's see. They might tag you out on this one. They might tag you out on this one. Let's see. Yep, they got you.
Yep.
Let's see how they react to your EMAs. But actually, let's take a scalping break for a bit. Reevaluate the structure in 10 minutes or so. We never looked at Joe's end phase.
Was that a specific contract?
I sent a specific contract, yeah. He asked if there was any action. I found one with action. I'm going to flip to your screen real quick. I got to open a window. I'm getting hot as fuck. So hot and...
Yeah, we should probably look at those end...
Hey, they took out 74.30 on SPX. We've got our net put premium still rising. If you get real quick, and then we'll get to end phase. If you guys remember, I was talking about those premiums not reacting to the bounce at all, so we were looking for rejections. I liked Anthony's long because they were still setting this new range to the upside. 7,500 has been gradually building. The argument was there for it. Right about now would be another potential entry off that 74.25 long. But it's safer to take a break now. Buyers have lost control in the short term. Net put premiums are still spiking up. I would be hands off and waiting a little bit. If they're going to set a new range here, I want to see it, and then I can get in on it. But currently, after that rejection, 0 for 2 in the last 2 trades, that's when I take a quick break. I pump the brakes, reevaluate structure, and get back in once the setup comes back. But right now, no setup for me. All right, let's look at end phase. I'm going to open that window because I'm fucking dying.
Yeah, we should probably look at those end phases when Joe sent them in. They came in at 465 there. Yeah, they're up at 614 right now. Let's see how they look when they come in. Let's see. Oops. Let's go back to the original there. So yeah, that's kind of the first chunk of flow there. I mean, yeah, everything's coming in at the ask there. Little decrease there on that IV, but again, you know, it's not 100% of science there. Again, real time, I would have been like, I don't like seeing that price go up and that IV dropping, but again, good example here of where that didn't really matter because it's absolutely running there. And a little longer term there too, so anything long term, you know, I'm not a fan of big long term trading, but just kind of looking at that too on the day here. When these came in end phase, this obviously was a big reason why that net call premium spiked there, 8% of the total volume there and all that on there at the time. But I mean, your net call premiums are running. You're getting good net volume there. I lean buy to open there. Long term, and anything else on end phase here? Yeah, I mean, it's just all calls kind of hitting the highest volume there. So I mean, yeah, but good little piece of flow there. Obviously already has moved up a bit. Yeah, kind of could rewind that there, and see that in real time would be a little more fun there. Let's do.
I wish. When he asked for end phase, those had just hit the tape. The one you were just looking that had just hit the tape when he asked for end phase. And now I feel like a dick because it ran, as you saw.
Yeah. I mean, real time though, I would have kind of saw that IV drop as the price was going up.
Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
been my only little concern. So, but you know, the long term stuff.
And then there's me who's half degen with flow, and I don't even fucking look at IV. This one, this EQT is from our man Full Metal Mex, one of our long-term viewers. Welcome back, homie. Glad to see you back.
Yeah, I see what you mean about kind of not the best context. I almost would kind of agree with you here saying potentially sold to open there. You get the IV drops here, and they are filling more at the bid there. How far are these out of the money? 12% out of the money, 34 days. Yeah, and I'm just kind of looking at the premiums here too. I mean, you're not really getting any ask side calls, ask side puts. It's just kind of bid side stuff, and I'm gonna guess this is probably the reason for that big drop in the put premiums there. Yes, it is. Look at that, 83% of that total volume and premium there. I mean, that's 484K. That's a big chunk there right now. So that alone is that reason for that drop on the net put premiums there. Anything else on this name? I mean, you did have some call premium yesterday. Let's just go back to it and take a peek at what that was.
Real quick, when he takes a peek at that, if you came in late and missed it, on most episodes of this show, viewers get special perks and discounts for the platform that nobody else gets. Nobody on Twitter is going to get this shit. Nobody in the general newsletter is going to get this unless they're tuning into the show like you folks on Substack are right now. 25% off your first 3 months of any subscription, be it the Flow platform, be it API. 20% off your first 3 months. That discount's not going to get seen anywhere else. Even when we run site-wide sales, it's never going to be 25%. That's show exclusive for you guys only. Off your first 3 months on the monthly plans, API, Flow, whatever the hell you want to get. It's 25% off those first 3 months on monthly and the entire year on annual. Again, not going to show this code to anyone else. Just you guys. This code will also expire today, so it won't be floating out there for you to use next week. Yeah, that's my super excited pump of the show-specific sales. So Stream 25 right there on the screen. That's the discount code for 25% off. Jump on that shit because we do not offer it to anyone except you viewers. Stream 25.
So use it today if you'd like to use it because it will not be there later this evening.
Hold on. Who was it that asked for the API?
Karsten, I think that was
Rockfall.
Yes.
Karsten Rockfall. Stream 25 if you want that 25% off your API, homie. Jump on that shit. And then also like show us what you're building because I like seeing what people are building with that API. People are making some cool shit. And if you do that, Karsten, in the Unusual Whales Discord, there's a channel dedicated to the API warriors. A lot of cool stuff. All right, let's finish this EQT. Yeah, I'll shut the hell up, and then I'll probably throw the code on smaller and just leave it on screen for a bit for the late bloomers.
API stuff, man. That's just. I mean, I'm.
It's over my head.
Yeah, I am. No. That's a. The smarter people can do that one. Yeah, the QTs here. Jesus Christ, man.
Dude, I can't click anything.
That I thought that came in
Oh my-
yesterday. Not really any context in this flow. This is the absolutely only trade on that chain there. I mean, you can see that size there. The 2, that's the first one on the day there. It's not really anything within that IV. Nothing really within. I mean, it's filling up the ask here. Your IV's all staying the same. You don't really get any context before or after how that's impacted. I probably lean buy to open if you made me pick there. Just not a full lot of context in there, and that's how it looked yesterday there too. You had 940 come in there. We only had 400 open contracts. So there has been some open interest on this one. Doesn't look like it's anything probably related to that. Just kind of trickled in since November of last year. They're trying to do math in my head on a Friday. Not good. So yeah, the ones Full Metal Mech sent there.
Paul, that might be on your side, homie. Can anyone else in chat confirm if audio's weird? Looks good on my side. Hopefully it's on Paul's side. No offense. I just hope it's not everybody. That would suck.
So kind of going with that flow from yesterday there too, and seeing the put here and just kind of the way that it came in. I'd probably lean there the short puts there. I mean, again, your IV kind of drops when it comes in there. They're filling mostly at the bid there. I'd probably lean short puts there. Again, usually when it comes in that kind of block trade there, you don't get that full context of seeing all the orders come in at multiple kind of seconds there. I'd probably lean short on these, though, if you made me pick, just kind of tailing that with that call from yesterday.
The context of the call flow seems to match up.
And let's see, what's our gamma? A lot of negative gamma on that. Yeah, a lot of that net gamma is kind of on that 52 strike, though, so I would just be, cautious of what can happen. Just be cautious. Yeah, they favor that 515 to that 612 expiration there. I mean, there's a lot of net gamma on the puts there. So just, be aware of that. Be aware of that.
All right, other people are saying that the sound's good. Yep, it must be on your side, Paul. Sorry. Hopefully you got it. Hey, Aiden, what was the contract you saw on that? Aiden says large order on LMB yesterday.
Yeah, we can go back and take a peek. LMV?
LMB, as in ball sack.
LMB. Oh, okay.
You are struggle busting. I saw that. You're
Yeah,
having a bad time.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, yesterday. Looks like I'm gonna assume probably talking about that 61870 N80 call here. We can take a peek at those.
AI data center play, he says. Isn't everything these days, man?
So-
We've got a shoe company doing AI shit. We've got a phone company that everybody thought was decrepit doing data center shit all over the place. That one's Nokia. It's up from like $4 in October to like 20 now. And we've got a toilet company making RAM for consumers. Look at that contract handoff yesterday.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was it looks like that 5.6 was your, 100% an opener there because all of that carried over and there was no open interest. And then not really, maybe a small ad there on the 7th because a lot of that carried over, and then another big ad there on the 11th there. So assuming, and I would take a very highly good educated guess that this is the same person. These candles, if you kind of put them together here and along with that little other flow there, which kind of carried over there, looks like got out there. And let's see, what was the average between, but Jesus Christ, man.
It is a very,
Between
he just
those.
pointed out as well, it's a very low market cap stock too. Sub 1 billion market cap. I get a little uncomfortable. I would say below 500 million is where I get uncomfortable with flow, because the smaller that market cap, the easier it is for some institution with a shitload of money to fuck with the price. So I try to stay a little higher in market cap, but 800 million is not so low that it'll completely scare me away if the flow's super clean. But yeah, lower market cap stuff, I get a little anxious. So
Yeah,
Aiden, are you talking about that 1,000 volume from 514 from yesterday? Because I think that's a position closure with a new position opening at the same time. We had 1,000 volume, 1,008 volume on 1,006 open interest. That is too picture perfect for the amount of volume that came in prior. That's picture perfect sizing. I think that big order exited already, and somebody else opened one up at the same time for a nice little contract handoff.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Oh, the June
First kind of
1880s, by the
position.
way, is the specific
Yep,
contract he's talking about.
Yep, there's another one too,
All right,
the
cool.
80s.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
I pay attention.
That's what yeah, that's what this looks like to me. First part of that trade comes in here, maybe a small little ad there. Another 640 there, you're up at that 1,000, there's your 1080 and they're out. And look at that, they got out for just kind of some small profits there. I mean, 882 there for their kind of average fill. Actually, I like that. So 893 and then about 873 and then yesterday 855. So maybe they got out for a little scalp off the top there. I mean, not a winning trade if they got out there. I mean, that's kind of odd to me. They are in the money too. But let's look at that 80 call here. So the 81 from yesterday is still there. That's completely an opener. You got the 1,004 contracts traded. You got 997 of them carrying over. Whale still in most of their position. Let's take a peek at that flow. It's a big multi-leg trade. Big multi-leg trade. So glad you're having us look at that here. So let's take a peek here. And it is a bunch of different little legs. And look at some of that open interest on those too.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. Ooh. Let's just do this and see. So it looks like, let's see, so same expiration, so that's 70. Oh, so that 70, was that 70 didn't look like it was multi-leg when we looked at it, or did we even actually click on that contract there?
You did not click on that contract.
Oh, we did not click on that. We just kind of assumed, and that's
That
what
makes me
happened.
think it's a
Oh,
roll.
oh, yeah, look at that. So it is multi-leg there.
What's our...
That's
that's a roll, baby.
Yep.
Now I wonder who ended up with those 1,000 contracts, though.
Yeah, that's...
It's some guy. He's just a guy. He's a jag.
Yeah, that's I see it. That's my mistake for not clicking on that first candle, just assuming they closed that position fully. Yeah. So that looks kind of good there. And this name, let's just go to today. I mean, this thing does not. I mean, this thing hardly gets any option volume here. And look at that big move up there. I wonder. I mean, nobody front ran this thing at all. And now you get a magical.
I kind of prefer to see that, honestly, because front running pisses me off, especially when I don't see it in real time.
Yeah, that's it looks like, yeah, like you were saying, a roll. Yeah, a lot of positive gamma coming in on this one too. That net gamma does kind of favor the call side there. That 80 strike is your big that 80 strike has your most positive gamma on it there, or that net gamma on it there. So I mean, you you could maybe possibly see it there. There is some on that 75 strike, so we're not quite at 75 yet, but some good support there, maybe at 70 as well. But yeah, that net gamma again favors that short-term today's expiration. That positive gamma favors that 618 expiration there. So that's very interesting to me. Yeah, I'd say that flow looks. I mean, they're rolling the calls out there. Yeah, I'd say that's a interesting name. Again, a name that doesn't get traded a lot there. Yeah, Yeah, so good one to keep an eye on there. I like those names that don't get a lot of option flow because that's more unusual when something's not getting any flow and then all of a sudden there's your flow. It looks like so we did the EQTs, so we got the Avgo 150s here. Yeah, let's see the Avgo
Real quick before you hit that, you know
yeah.
what I'm gonna do.
It's break time.
I gotta go lose some weight. All right, I'll be right back. Hit that Avgo.
Yeah, that. I will hit up Avgo while you're doing that. So the Avgo here, make sure he sent me the right one. You look at the Avgo 155, 515. So today's expiration. Been following away for a while. It looks like the guy closed out his trade yesterday, but the volume recorded was 630. The open interest today reads 90 from 10. How does that make sense? Paul from Substack. All right, yeah, let's go back here and take a peek. So the good example here, and I kind of want to wait for Nick to come back because this is a pretty good example of maybe potentially exercising those shares there. So it looks like that original, and this is kind of why I avoid that really deep in the money. These are 65% in the money. I'm not a big fan of like anything over 10% in the money. Just that's kind of how I have my filter set up there. Yeah, when these came in too, they were what were we trading at? 314. Yeah, I mean these are over 50% in the money. Let's go back down here. So yeah, your 4-1 majority of that kind of carried over. Then 4-2, you had most of that carry over. And then yes, some of those contracts dropped off yesterday. So yeah, they exercised some of those contracts there, it looks like there, because you're getting a deeper drop in that open interest and that volume's not showing up. So this is a pretty good example here. I'm waiting for Mr. Piss Break to get back and we'll...
And now I'm back.
Kind of...
From
Hey,
outer space.
I
Never
think we
thought
found a
I'd
good
find you here
example.
with that sad
Oh,
look
God.
upon your face. What's up? What I missed?
Horrible, man. Horrible. I think we finally found one where you see some shares get exercised.
Ooh, I like
and
that.
So I'll show you what we got here. So it was the
I see it
Avgo
already.
150,
Yes, sir.
515th. Yep. So most of that 2400 coming in there on 4-1, they were 50% of the money. I already went through and looked at that. Let's just come down here. I'll show you. So again, not all of that carried over either. So I mean, already kind of interesting there. Then you have 400 there on 4-2 carry over, and the question, it was how does it make sense that the open interest reads 90 versus the 630. So when they're super deep in the money, that volume doesn't show up if they exercise those. It's not a typical transaction.
When a contract exercises, it's not being transacted, it's being converted to shares. So yep, I'll let you finish the explanation.
Yep, nope. So you're only seeing 630 contracts. So the 630 there, we're just gonna assume closed because you're seeing a big drop in that open interest. 630 contracts are at least going to fall off. So you're seeing that volume spike because those contracts are actually being closed, and then you're missing about 300 here because about 300 of them more than likely exercise there. Yep. So you're seeing that bigger drop off there with the lower volume because they're so deep in the money.
They're taking profit on a good 600 of them and exercising the rest is what I'm reading this as.
Yep. So they are
$260,000 fucking contract, bro.
Yeah, that's why I avoid deep in the money stuff, because it's odd stuff can happen like that, and you don't know until the next day. And then if you see something like that, you're like, "Oh shit, what happened?" Yeah,
Paul, definite whale shit. That's not me or Anthony, bro. Look at that! Look at the IV on the 14th.
Look at the high.
Oh my god. Yeah. Homie got shares. Homie definitely got shares. He got some money for 600 of those, and 300 he exercised into shares for $150 per share. Depending on
Yeah,
when
we
those
finally
open,
caught
bro
one.
got a fucking steal.
Yeah, let's see. When they
God.
opened, we were trading it. It was like 155-ish or so. Or no, Jesus Christ,
Oh, that's today, though.
314.
Oh, no, that's
They were
today,
50. Yep, they were 314 when they came in. They were about 50% in the money.
Oh
it's a
my
Pelosi
God.
trade. It's a Nancy trade.
Yeah, that's some Nancy
It's a
shit. If you guys remember that Nvidia that she got before the split, and then she was basically sitting in $5 calls. I was like, wait a minute, dude. Hey, good shit, Aiden.
Yeah, that's a really good example. I'm happy because you don't really see a lot of those examples where those contracts do get exercised. At least I don't. I mean, well, my filters aren't set up to seeing the money, but that's a really good example there. We haven't had one of those on the show at least, so I'm happy we finally caught something like that.
Tucker and Jurassic were lost to the void.
Jurassic's been lost for like.
Jurassic is on a world tour, man. He's partying. He'll still pop in now and again in the
Yeah,
future,
he's-
maybe. We'll see what we'll see if he abuses us. But he's alive. He's alive. Tucker is on a trip today, and I think he's gonna be gone next Friday too. But he'll be here the rest of the week next week.
Yeah, and I was hoping. I know Jay-Z said he's gonna be out of the country next week. I was like, hey, maybe he'll do a pop in for Nvidia earnings, but
Yeah, I'm gonna
probably not if he's.
we'll have a couple of people on for Nvidia earnings. That's gonna be a bit of a special stream for the spice.
Ooh, there we go. There we
Yeah.
go.
I'll see if I can get
that's what
some
I
good
like to hear.
some good charters in, chartists, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm still gonna shoulder tap your boy Milt as well. I think he agreed once, but I'm gonna double check. But Milt is a really good chart trader and a really good flow trader, so I'd love to have him on for Nvidia.
I'm just looking, man. I'm happy I kind of took a break there too on the trade. Look at that, just choppy price action. I mean, just
Yeah, that was a
I'm
good
down,
spot
let's
to
see,
take a break.
What am I on? Down 184 on the day.
Salvageable for show. Salvageable.
Yeah.
We're vibing though. We don't gotta force trades.
We'll get past that. We'll get past that eval here. Got to get a 2650 there.
We'll
So
come back with a
get
vengeance on Monday too, because you know I'm gonna be punting shit back and forth come Monday.
Yeah,
I had to miss all day yesterday because my account was fucking locked.
I'm still just trying to get used to the execution stuff too. So I mean, I expected to kind of
Yeah, you can basically it'll take getting used to because you're used to dealing with theta, but you can basically just sit in your trade for whatever the hell your tolerable range is.
Yeah, that's.
I'm bad at that. I usually just hit my first target and fuck off. But yeah, I mean with ES it's a little more uniform than NQ is in terms of futures movement. But I mean right now we're chopping, we're setting lower lows and lower highs, but we're nowhere near the low of day. We're no longer near the high of day. We're diddling in the middle. Not a lot of momentum.
I think we might see more downside, man. I still think we might see more downside. Look at those call premiums just continuing to drop towards the low of the day for out of the money and all. And your SPY premiums are that net volume starting to turn a little negative, but kind of ticking up. I mean, their bid side there, it just seems and I kind of called that too when we were talking about up in this area. I was like, I just see some kind of chop there, and I should have followed my rule. But I'm trying to get some entertainment for the show, man. People like to see.
I know,
people
dude.
lose
That pressure's there like a little bit, and I try to fight it because honestly, trading live with a couple thousand people watching me fuck up if I'm wrong, I'm way more responsible when I trade live than I am on my own. Like, I get way more jumpy. I overtrade more when I don't have eyes on me. So I like it. It keeps me a lot more honest with myself, which is a good thing. But there's definitely that aspect of I want excitement for the viewers at the same time as I need to be responsible. So you gotta balance it a little bit.
But the nice thing is it's a prop account, so
Full Metal.
If I lose a little bit.
We did talk about the Trump reports. I wrote an article on the Substack about that yesterday as well, outlining some of the biggest moves that happened. The Dell one was really interesting. NVIDIA reported Nokia on their 13F last quarter. That's also true, but go ahead and look at Nokia quick, Anthony.
Yeah, let's do a new screen here for that.
We first started talking about Nokia in November, and by then it had already run up. Yeah.
I can't even. Yeah,
Yeah,
where's my
that's
chart?
enough.
Where's
That's
my
no,
where's
that's
my
enough to get my point across. It's up and to the right.
chart?
And Nokia also has like new contracts in place for some infrastructure shit. I think it was in Indonesia. Nokia's coming back with a vengeance, it looks like, but I'm not chasing that. Maybe
Yeah,
if I
look
got
at
to
your
dip down
November.
closer to $10, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go. But I'm not chasing that. It's up like
Over 100%.
3x
Yeah,
since last year, this time of year. I'm good. Now that doesn't mean it's not going to keep going, because Poet sure as shit did.
Yeah, look at they still have some. Look at all that. I mean,
and
20.
also to your question, Mex, before he continues there, worth following the positions that Trump reported? I don't think so. He's up like 100 to 200% on a shitload of those. He bought the bottom in March, and that's troubling to me because he was doing that with information about the war literally no one else on the planet had. And that takes us right back to our congressional trade reports. That's some bullshit. But yeah, I wouldn't buy shares in any of that shit right now. At least not based on that. At least not based on that. He's up. I'll just pull up the picture again just to show you since you weren't here at the beginning, just to show you some of the bigger trades that happened. You know, like 129%, 145.89%, 121%, 67.5% on the Dell position. That's up like $3.5 million from entry. Yeah, I wouldn't invest based on this disclosure itself because A, the disclosures are filed late, and B, there's some suspicious trading, and they're already up significantly. So I wouldn't enter based on that alone. All right, go ahead. I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, I was just kind of going on Nokia there. Yeah, I mean that big kind of 15 positive gamma got hit there, but look at that. They still have a lot of positive gamma up there. I mean, especially on that 20, that 15, or what is that? Yeah, 15-ish or so, 16 probably. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of positive gamma. I don't see a lot of negative gamma in here, so, just kind of keep that in mind there. Yeah, I mean, it's all, God, man, imagine Nokia up to 25. That'd be hilarious. 25 or 20.
Don't manifest that shit. Knock it off. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, now we're getting a little kind of move out of there. Yeah, I'm
yeah, they're still
there.
toiling that 7430 spot, man. It's kind of become the main inflection point. And curious enough, 7450 got a little bit more positive, while 7460 fell off. So that 7460 is moving down. If they range it in this 20 points here, like they did for that 30 points earlier between 7400 and 7430. We might end up with a pin in the middle of the straddle here. That wouldn't surprise me. If we closed at 74.35, I would not even blink. That would make so much sense because we've got that gamma above us here, kind of sitting and falling off lower to that 74.50. 74.30 has done nothing but grow all day. If these above go negative while we build up higher, they could maybe squeeze it in the close. Remember, we have a shitload of options expirations today. Anything can happen. I'm curious to see what market on close will tell us about buys and sells. Because if we get something spicy, we might get a move. But a lot of MOC has been pretty muted lately. There's a pretty big one last week, I think, or beginning of this week, that caused some really good movement. For the most part, fireworks have been reserved for the mornings this week.
I'll tell you, on Wednesday afternoon, I took a little MOC kind of snag. I got the move after hours. Like Wednesday was just not a fun day. Let me just go back to the chart here on that. So okay, we got today, yesterday. Yeah, I'll show you where I got in, and you probably know right away. I got in a little. Let's see where's our Wednesday. Let me just. Yeah, we were trading
catch
right
that drop?
down. No.
Were you long into that?
Yeah, I longed into that there. I was targeting just up a couple points, but look at that. I got the move after hours. I got the move after hours, but I didn't. Like, Wednesday was the biggest tease day, I feel like, for that.
It was up and to the right and then formed a range and stayed in it. Acted like it was breaking out of it to the downside, then said, never mind. And yeah.
This was my wick out on Wednesday. I had that stop right there to the upside, and look where it wicked. That's right. And that was live on here, too. I mean, that was just, you know.
You got bullied as shit.
Yeah, that was a fun day, but like yesterday.
Wait, that's the one. Was that the one I told you to not move your stop up? Was that the one? Or are you talking about your power hour?
No, that was the I think that was the one that I got just wicked out a little bit before that big pop up. The power hour one was the read was right, but I just ran. That's why I don't like trading that last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, the benefit you have with futures, at least on your own account, depending on your account balance, you can trade until 5 Central. Or sorry, 4 Central.
Oh, yeah,
and then it opens back up an hour later. With options, it only lasts 15 minutes after close for equities. Or sorry, for ETFs. But I don't tend to hold SPY past close, personally. Futures I will if I'm already profitable. If it's getting dicey, I usually will close it, because a lot of times we'll get one of those Trump tweet yeets right at close and just nuke anyone who's still in a position.
And then you look at yesterday's setup. I mean, this is one of the ones we need on the show here next week. This is kind of when I was getting in.
I mean, technically we had it this morning. We just only caught a bit of it.
Yeah,
that 74.30 loss into 7,400.
Yeah, I mean, I like these nice, clean, clear setups, man. Just, sit and kind of forget about it. I mean, that thing was just perfect setup. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. It was funny, though, to see him kind of moving that positioning up there at 75.50. I was like, yeah, I'm not chasing that at that point there.
Real quick, flashing on screen again, I just saw a bunch of new people hit the stream chat. If you missed it earlier, this code has some uses left. It will not last beyond today. 25% off your first 3 months of any subscription tier, be it API or Flow. On top of that, you could get 25% off your annual of any tier as well. These codes for 25% off exist nowhere but for viewers of WhaleWatch. And they're not going to be every episode. They're going to be sporadic. They're eventually going to be rare. For now, they're common. And you got it right here in your face. Stream 25, 25% off. If you hold out for an all-over site-wide sale, that's not going to be 25%. This is the steepest discount you're ever going to see, and it's only for you guys who watch the show. Stream 25 is that code. I'll leave it on screen for a second here, but if you can't remember Stream 25, man, I don't know what to tell you. Stream 25, 25% off. Flashy, 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 flashy. All right. We got a little bit more time here for a couple more flow requests, guys. If you have anything you want to take a look at, let us know. Actual individual contracts will get priority, but we will do cold reads if no real contracts straight up come in. You got us for a few more minutes, man. Let's see if we can find anything spicy.
I can do a scan through my filter here. Man, it's been quiet. Look at that.
Death by exposure. Hit up support at unusualwhales.com. I don't know a whole lot about the about the lifetime accounts. If you already have one, because you coming back for the close? Probably not, Joe. Power hour streams are gonna be few and far in between for now, but eventually we're gonna make them more common. For now, we're basically just going to do, big events and earnings for Power Hour. So, next Wednesday, right? Next Wednesday? That's the 20th?
Yep.
Next Wednesday, we'll be live Power Hour through the close for NVIDIA. And if I'm feeling super spicy, and Joe, you know me, I might not be feeling that spicy. Sometimes I'll scalp micro NASDAQ futures during NVIDIA earnings. But as you know, Joe, NVIDIA earnings causes a lot of whiplash and turmoil. And so we'll see if I'm feeling spicy enough. But Joe, you can join us for that one if you want. You can
Yeah,
just
hop
be on that
We
stream if
need
you're
some
around.
more Minnesota people on here, man. We need Team Minnesota up here, man. Team Midwest up here, man.
But I'm gonna try to get Milt on. We're gonna see if Jay-Z can call in from his plane or whatever the hell he's doing. Tucker will be back for that. Honestly, any Unusual Whales affiliate who wants to hop on can hop on. We can make it a powwow, talk some shit. Watch chat get mad at us because we're not looking at NVIDIA specifically for the full 2 hours. Dude, they get so mad. It's like, we joined for NVIDIA. It's like, yeah, we're going to talk about it. Relax.
Like, it has to get released first. Has to get released first. Can't talk about it when it doesn't get released.
We can talk about, like, the past. You can only do so much. Look at the chart, etc. It'll be all right.
I'm just scanning through my filters. Yeah, not much on the day here. I mean, I'm page 1 still. I mean, it's a lot of multi-legs, just the more end phases. See, if we were to, I see the one Joe was talking about hit my filter here, the 918.65. Also that 717.55, just slightly. Yeah, look at that thing just popping. There was some end flow phase from yesterday too. I think I actually popped it over to Snore too when we were in the street.
Oh, during his Thursday shindig.
Yeah, look at that. The 618.55s hit yesterday. I bet you they're up pretty nicely today. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I got a buddy who just constant end phase is one of like 5 tickers he trades, and he trades the shit.
I mean, you don't need to trade 1,000 tickers if you're good at 3 or 4 tickers. That's your thing. Yeah, I'm just looking through my filters, man. There's not really much going on. Poet calls again. Just
Did we look? Is that a new one, Joe? We did talk through several fuel cell contracts earlier. I don't know if we hit the 21 call 0 day though. 21 call for today on fuel cell.
Yeah, let me just get a new tabs key open here. F-cell, fuel cell.
21's for today.
0 day. These look like.
How about that
300
first
there,
one?
391.
Yeah. What are we trading?
What was this one? 1,000.
20. Dude, if they're playing for an end of day bounce, it wouldn't surprise me. If this is someone with big money, that's kind of.
I mean, you get
really
an IV pop in there.
We do have quite a bit of open interest, and that volume candle at least didn't outweigh it.
I would like to assume, again, choosing my words carefully, assume based on that size and kind of premium coming in, I see these 2 seconds later. I'm going to assume that these are probably related to that overall trade. And you do see a small little IV drop there as that price is going up. See, this is the part that I don't like seeing, is that IV drop when that price is going up.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, a headline can hit. You never know. Let's look at that second candle here, though. As you can tell, I'm pretty picky.
Buy side, but
yeah.
But I mean, it could be just like you said. It could be a little bit of a degen play for something that's barely out of the money. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way. I wouldn't be surprised either way. If it were me, I'd be like aiming premium grab. But I mean, look how close to the money it was when this order came in. At least it's pretty damn close, right? Wouldn't be surprising. I don't know why they would though. I mean, you'd have to be
expecting a big move there. I mean, they're not, unless maybe that first whale 54 got out at 50. I mean, they do stupid stuff like that. I mean, you don't know, and you're not going to know because there's not going to be an open interest change on this one. But I mean, at least that 1,000 contracts coming in here, man. Even that's not even.
SPX is taking another stab toward that 50, pushing into 40 now. I don't know, man. I think 74.30 might be conquered for now.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the best read on that flow. I mean, they are filling at the ask. Your IV pops when it initially comes in, then it starts to drop here towards the end. Spot's still filling at the ask there. I mean, a couple below the ask kind of fills there, but it's very, very risky on something like this. If If you're looking for a little lotto play, though, I mean, $35, 35 cents a contract there, $35. And these, I mean, 34, they're up at 40 right now. So, I mean, they're up a little over 10%. But, like, this is what will get you. And this is why I'm still, I don't want to say struggling with futures, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around my futures contracts aren't going to decay. These decay. Like, typically when I scalp Periscope, I'm trading 0 DTE SPY options or SPX options. Like, you need that quick move. Like, it's quick. You're quick on the trigger. Like,
I think you'll get used to it within a week, honestly. I will say, I fully expect you to fail that first evaluation. Most people fail the first one. Most people never pass, honestly. And that's why I talk shit about prop firms. That's their business model. Their business model is making money off of failure. They will pound the wall claiming that their goal is for traders to profit a shitload, do that profit split, and for them to make money off of the winning traders. That is simply not true. They make their money off of people buying evaluations, failing, and churning. They make money off people passing evaluations, getting funded, and then nuking it. That's the business model, is money off of failure. I don't like that, but it's a good place to practice while having a little bit of capital on the line because you purchased the evaluation or the funded account, but not being able to nuke your bankroll. I like it for starting out.
And
I fully expect that $345 to your bust. I expect that to go away. I do. But you paid what, like $50 for it? You lost $50.
Yeah, I think it was $50.
That's a good way to practice because you have something to lose, but it's not your whole ass account. It's like paper trading with a little bit of the money psychology. The thing people hate about paper trading to practice is that you don't have real money on the line, so the psychology is not true. And I agree with that. Strategy practicing, paper trade, yeah. Figure it out, see if it works within a control. Then once you're a little more confident, move to a prop firm and practice there if you're scalping futures. And then you have a little money on the line with the potential to make money without losing all of your money. So I expect you to fail the first one and to take another stab at it. And I think if you don't just pass this one, you will pass the second one. You're going to get used to that. You're a really good trader. You got to find that mentality of, hey, I don't have to worry about theta decay. But the patterns and everything, they're identical to what you're doing on SPX and SPY.
Yeah, it's all the same.
It's the same shit.
And see, like, because at first I know I kind of was hinting to you. I'm like, let me just use my real account, and you're like, I probably wouldn't do that. And I'm like, why? Like, I can trade. I know how to trade. I'm profitable. But like, and I mean, $60 too. Like, I was kind of talking about it to my people too. I'm like, if you're really trying to learn futures, it's better than blowing your full account. And like, my mentality still is, though, this is my account. Like, that is my mentality right now. Like, that is my account. But so, okay, when you fail that eval, because your account goes to 0 then on this, doesn't it?
The account will lock once your evaluation hits 24,000. Because I believe the one you're using, don't advertise for them. They don't pay us. But I believe the one you're using has a $1,000 fail total from the 25 starting. Somebody asked about implied volatility. I'll let you break that down first. I'm just going to drop an article in all of the chats that just explains what implied volatility is and what kinds of things affect it. I need to update it for your question, actually. So this is a good reminder for me. But, homie in the Substack chat, Paul, what does it mean if IV pops or doesn't on a large play? Before Anthony answers, and I agree with everything he's going to say, we've talked about this numerous times on the show, I just want to point out everything can fuck with the implied volatility. Rumors, news, all of that, even if there are no purchases happening, can fuck with the implied volatility. If there's like a news on a random stock that's like, hey, this might be happening, even if it doesn't cause a flurry of call buying during that news or put buying, whatever the news is, those alone can affect that implied volatility and make it higher or lower than it otherwise would be. It's a pricing mechanism for the options. High IV, those options are overpriced. Low IV, the price is pretty fucking normal. But yeah, everything. Earnings has a direct correlation to high implied volatility because there's a binary event coming up that could swing either way. that's going to usually juice implied volatility as well. So just that as a preface to what he's going to say now. The question, just because I rambled there, was what does it mean if implied volatility pops or doesn't on a large play?
Yep. So I'll give you a couple examples. I got a good call side example and I got a good bid side example. And before I get started, Nick, these are the ones I sold premium on. The AMD calls I sold premium on. Look at that. I was sweating for a couple. I should have took them that same day. I should have took some profit that same day, but it's worthless now.
Real quick,
now. Again,
Deals Boy asked if there's a coupon for today. I missed the one from the 13th. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, is there? Oh, I got you. Oh, I got you. Good. Stream 25% off your first 3 months of any subscription tier, API, or flow. Doesn't matter. You get it. Or off annual of any tier. I saw a dev get the big API for a massive discount last week. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't apply it to those ones. But it's too late. It's already there. Any subscription, Deals Boy. You are the Deals Boy. That's the code. You got the deal, homie. I got you. All right, let's go back to IV. I'm going to shut up and turn my camera off.
So I'm gonna give you 2 examples here, and these are both pretty textbook examples of ask side, potential buy to open flow, and then a good sell to open or example here. So I mean, this is exactly what I want to see within the flow. So these SPY calls, they hit the tape here on the 511 show. Actually, I think we caught those live on 511. So first couple things I'm looking for when that flow actually hits here. You want to make sure it's an opening trade. You do all that stuff. So next big thing is when you start looking for that IV here. So I always check every single candle, volume candle. I don't assume I'm coming in here and checking. So very good example here. So the kind of the premise behind it is, ask side calls would be buying calls, ask side puts would be buying puts, and then vice versa. Bid side calls would be selling calls, and bid side puts would be. Jesus Christ, did I mess? Okay, so bid side calls would technically be bearish there, bearish to neutral. You'd be selling those calls, and then bid side puts would be kind of neutral to bearish there.
And real
so
quick,
I'll kind of touch up
the reasoning behind the neutral to bearish is because just because calls, even if they are being sold, it doesn't necessarily mean they're outright betting on a downside move with it. Selling calls to open is a very popular hedging mechanism for shares. Protects the downside in the shares they're sitting in by profiting on the short calls. So shorted calls are less interesting to me in general than shorted puts are. And then the reciprocal is also true. It's more interesting to see buy side calls than it is to see buy side puts for me, because puts are used in the same way on the opposite side of it, where they buy puts to hedge their shares. With selling calls, you just lose your shares if you get called on them. With selling puts, you're forced to buy shares.
Which if you're selling premium on a company you like, if
they're secured calls, like shares secured, you will lose them if somebody decides to exercise the contracts you sold. But that's part of the protection, right? Like they want to make money on those sold calls to protect the downside in their shares. That's why he said neutral to bearish instead of just outright bearish, because it very well could just be a straight up neutral play protecting shares.
And just while we're on that kind of neutral here, I mean, like the AMD call sells, like I sold some premium on AMD here. Like, look at that AMD here. Like, I'm going to pop up that stock action here for these came in May 7th or so, a week there. So we're pretty much where we closed a week ago there. So, I mean, like if you're buying puts there, obviously you're going to get toasted when we're going up there anyways. But if you were buying puts, and let's just say we kind of chopped along this trajectory right here, this person who's selling the calls, their goal is to collect that premium. So, well, this whale, it's probably got a little sweaty up there for them. They collected 100% of that premium here today because they're expiring worthless because they are 12% out of the money. As long as AMD didn't go above 485, this whale will see profits there
As long
because
as
the
it doesn't
contracts are
close
going to.
even. It could be at
Yes,
485
close,
evens.
excuse me, yes,
Yeah, it could be at
yes.
485 evens at fucking
3 o'clock
3:59
today. Yep.
p.m. Eastern, and then if it drops below that 3:59, it drops below that 485 at 3:59 and 50 seconds. Guess what? Those contracts just expired worthless, and homie pocketed all his money. The cool thing you'll see about shorts as well, just on the screen Anthony's on. Yeah, he was probably sweating a little bit, but they never went anywhere near in the money.
No.
So he went negative $800 almost per contract. Holy fuck, I'd be shitting my pants.
Yeah,
but
I'll tell you, I was sweating a little bit. I was sweating a little bit.
But he still had a whole ass this entire trading week for it to not go above that price. You see no evidence of exits here. You just sat through that shit. You'll see this with puts all the time. They sit through the drawdown because they're confident that by the time it actually expires, that's going to be gone. It won't matter. And that's what this person did, and I bet Anthony's butthole was puckered.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But, like, and that's kind of where that neutral comes in. Like, AMD doesn't have to move a penny for the whole week, and this whale will profit. So, like, that's why kind of when I see, people say, oh, it's a call sell, it's bearish, like, the idea behind it would be to, be bearish to have it go down so you can collect that premium quicker, but it doesn't have to go down to collect that premium. I was a little kind of sweaty on that one, but okay, let's go back to the SPY here. So the IV here. So when I'm looking at the flow here, I pay attention to pretty much all the columns on here. Just the main ones you kind of got to focus on though. That time, that bid-ask spread, that spot what the contract is filling at. I pay attention to the size, the premium IV here. So, and earnings, obviously, ETF doesn't matter because it's not there's no earnings on it there. But what I'm watching here is I pay attention to that price here, and I'm paying attention to that IV. So, like, I'm following this up here, just making sure that timestamp's staying the same here. Just kind of looking here. We're filling the ask, looking good. Oh, look, I see a IV spike here. This is kind of catching my attention here. And the cool thing is, now, like some of the ones we looked at earlier, that price is dropping on SPY and that IV is rising. So you're kind of getting that inverse effect there. Now let's just keep following this up here. Look, the IV is continuing to rise here, and now we're getting a repeated hits ascending fill. This is something that's really catching my eye. I like those repeated hits ascending fills or descending fills because they typically you'll see some context more in the flow instead of just, that IV being 100% the same the entire time, or that spot being the same the entire time there. But just kind of following this up. IV's rising here. Like, this is some pretty good textbook flow. Spot prices continuing to rise. We've had multiple IV rises here. Let's just kind of get to the end here. Again, spot price rising, and then you get another spot price rise here and another IV increase. So these aren't filling right at the ask there, but you're still getting that ascending fill there. This isn't necessarily something that would make me say, oh no, I don't like this trade anymore, because you're still getting that ascending fill throughout that entire piece of flow that's coming in. And again, just kind of pay attention to the price of SPY here too at the time. We're at 738.42 here. We dropped down to 738.40 and we're sitting there at that price that entire time. All these contracts are coming in here. We go up a little bit here and then we drop a little bit there, but that price is staying the same there, and that IV is rising with that price kind of staying the same. So kind of just the very basic term, like the way I like to think about it is, so like IV, it's your implied volatility. It's so like around earnings, like Nvidia earnings next week are a good example. You're going to see implied volatility really skyrocket around that because the contracts are going to be priced very highly because there's a big expected move around that name for some reason. So like Nvidia next week earnings are a big kind of I think about it,
especially Nvidia earnings.
Everybody, yeah, I think about it like, everybody wants to get into a party. Like, just there's a bunch of celebrities in a party, everybody wants to get in. That IV's rising. Oh, there's a bunch of people. That party is over. Okay, the IV's dropping. Nobody wants to be there anymore. Nobody wants to hang out with me and Nick. So like that's kind of just a like little analogy for it. Like, everybody wants to be somewhere. So like this is what's kind of catching my eye like this potential, the IV rising on here. There's an expected move around this contract. So like that's kind of where that buying the contract comes in there, where like, okay, there's an IV rising, spot prices rising, that looks good. And these actually did make a good move here. Like we caught these on Monday, 394. They were trading at 633 yesterday. There, 647. So I mean, you got that move on there. So like you saw that move there. And now so that's on the ask side of things. So that's kind of the template I'm looking for like, ask side calls, ask side puts. Now vice versa, if we go and look at the Uber put sells. Oh man, that didn't sound good. The Uber put sells here. So like these were opened at 75 yesterday. Uber's down today, but look, because of theta decay, and there's not heavy theta decay on these yet because they're so far out there. And I always kind of pay attention to that, the theta and the delta on there. Like you want a higher theta on contracts that you're selling premium because you want them to decay quicker. Obviously, there's more time on something like this. The delta isn't, like a 0.35 where you're going to see a big move on that contract if you do see it drop in this case. But like here, vice versa. So these are the 717, 62.5 puts coming in at the bid. So again, as we were talking about, that bid side, when you see that, hey, these could potentially be a sell to open. Now again, just because everything's at the ask and so everything at the bid doesn't necessarily mean, it's going to be a sell every time. So you see a lot of people just say, oh, they're selling these contracts just they're at the bid. No, you need to go in and actually do some due diligence on the flow. Like the SPY calls, they're like, again, obviously they're not good examples because they're working out right now. But like the Uber ones, again, kind of like the SPY ones, it's that opposite here. You're getting that descending fill here. Again, they're not fully at the bid here, but you just see, and I like keeping that fill versus spread on here too, because you can just see how the contracts are filling here. You don't have to sit and kind of do numbers in your head. You can just see how that it's dropping there. And again, your time's all the same here. Your IV's dropping. Like these look like clear put sells here to me. Like this is something I like. And then if you missed the beginning of the stream, like I kind of tailed that with another Uber call that came in as well too. But like that's what I like to see here. And again, kind of with that IV thing. So like, okay, the party's over on the put side of things here. All the big celebrity people are leaving. You're stuck with me and Nick. That IV's dropping here. Nobody wants to hang out with us. There, people are like, I'll take whatever you want to get those tickets to hang out with those jabronis. But let's get out of here. I don't care what you want to fill them at. Whatever. Just I'll take the bid I'm getting out here. So they're essentially kind of just the easy way is they're not expecting Uber to have a big move anymore on something like this. And again, 63 days out, a little kind of time on those, 16% out of the money. And again, if Uber doesn't close again below that 62.5 there, this will collect all of 100% of that premium. And if they do close, they might have to buy them back at 62.5 a share. So that's why if you're trading something and you're selling premium on it, I'd like to say it's got to be on a company that you're okay kind of owning there. So like I like Uber overall. I do have some Uber shares, but like here, okay, cool. I like Uber overall. If we drop to 62.5, cool. I get a discount on the shares, and I'm gonna own up 100 of them there, or however many contracts you're buying, because each contract is 100 shares. So keep that in mind too. But typically, you need the capital in your account to do that, anyways. So they're not gonna let you do it on like a cash account or anything. But yeah, that's just kind of the backwards there. And like a good example here too that I have as well too. So like the ask side thing where we were talking about, where I'm like, not all ask side flow is going to be a buy here. So a couple good examples here, like these Intels from 5.8 that hit here. Intel's down 6.5% today. These came in last Friday here on the 8th. We had 35,000 contracts, followed by another 25,000, and most of that carried over here. this whale is held there. These are so far out of the money, 36% out of the money, even with Intel down here. This whale, if they were actually, truly looking to buy puts on this, you're not seeing any profits on something like this. And that just kind of comes down to the Greeks here. Look at the Greeks on this thing. This barely even has a delta. I mean, this thing's not going to move. There's a delta of 0.15. So that contract's losing roughly 15 cents a day there on there. And these contracts are only priced at 10. The theta decay was probably like 5 cents last week, but you're still losing that. And I always I like seeing those, far out of the money kind of put sells on the weekly that are coming in on a Friday, because you have 2 days of theta decay over the weekend on contracts where that price isn't moving, but you're, due to that decay on the contracts, you're collecting that premium. So like these, I mean, even with Intel down significantly today, this whale is not gonna get hurt here. And there was another one too for Monday, I believe here. When did I get that? Let's see, 512. So like here, like I sold some Intel put premium here, and I'm not sweating or anything, but because, if I have to own Intel at 95, so be it. But these came in at 51 here. Look at the Greeks on this thing. That theta's 20 cents on here. That delta's 13. So over the weekend here, where we are, if Intel doesn't move another cent here, you're going to lose about 40 cents on those. We'll just say for the fact Intel closes at 108 here and opens at 108 on Monday, you're going to lose 40 cents on value on those contracts just due to that theta decay over the weekend. So this whale will be, again, technically, break even on them there at that time. There's like, that's kind of the thing too, like you can't really say it's, a losing trade, because they're 12% out of the money still. Like you're not technically, it's not a loser, but it's not really a winner yet, because you're still up from that 51 entry up at 95 right now. But just kind of understanding that the contract fundamentals there and all that. And again, like these Teslas, I see these come in all the time, and it's just so funny. Every Friday there's usually a big ask side Tesla put that comes in. They're 46% out of the money. These expired already last week.
That ain't no buy.
But I mean, it's 24,000. They're pocketing $95,000 just by theta decay over the weekend. I mean, this is like, you'd see somebody on Twitter like, "Oh, it's an ask side look," like, and you're reading it, like, if you read it properly, like, if you're ignoring everything else, you'd be like, "Oh, hey, your IV's rising," and then you get a big spike here and that spot fill rises. But so it reads as a buy, but it's truly not a buy. Like, if Tesla doesn't drop to, it was 230 last week,
A 50%
and close to that
drop.
230. Yeah, I mean, like,
come on.
it's not good. Yeah, I mean, like, you just have to kind of understand what you're looking at too. That's why, like, you see those 95%, 100% out of the monies, and yes, sometimes they do run, but like the odds of that happening versus what you typically see, it's not going to be a valuable contract. Like, now if these were like a percent out of the money and weeklies, like, and it was like really heavy premium, like, okay, well, maybe that's a little more interesting to me. But like, just understanding those contract fundamentals overall there are kind of big, especially when you're selling the premium. That's kind of a good time to understand it more so, I'd say. But
Yeah,
it's good to understand it too, like, even when you're buying them too. Just, you don't want a theta of like 20 and a delta of like 0.02. Like, you're not going to see profit on that, because that theta, you're going to need like a $10 move to offset 1 day of theta on something like that.
To the question about which prop firm I use, I will not be able to answer that, because I already talked about how I feel about the business model of prop firms, but B, this is Unusual Whales' show, and they don't pay us to plug them, and so I'm not gonna give them a freebie. If that makes sense. But if you do some Googling, you'll be able to find, like, just honestly, I hate to say it, but you could just fucking check people's Reddit reviews on prop firms to see which ones, fit your morals or your desires. But I cannot plug for free. We did have Joe giving us another end phase. A
Yeah.
sneaker sneak, end phase 65 call for September. And I think this will probably be the last contract we cover before I wrap up and shoot the new viewers today. And anybody watching the recording later, that massive discount one more time.
The 9/18/65 call.
Yes, sir.
I think that's what. Did we look at that one already? I think we
We
might have
looked
looked
at
at that
one.
one. 465.
know. Hold
Yeah,
on,
I
let me
mean,
just-
they're. I
let me
think
just go check the one
this
I
is the one that
actually
he
sent.
sent us already. I think.
Oh, this is that
the
one.
we looked
Yeah,
at.
Joe, when you first
Yeah.
requested end phase, I pulled up this contract earlier. It's trucking. We
Yeah,
also bitched about it a little bit ago. I don't know if you're still here when we were talking about the Yeah, fair enough, Joe. Joe says, click any random person on X's profile posting about futures, and I'm sure you'll find an option and a code for an offer. He's not wrong. A lot of those folks like to post their insane winnings, but they're usually not even fucking real. No, you
that
cannot
is
plug
funny.
your cattle business in my chat. What are we doing?
Cattle business.
No.
What?
Absolutely not.
That's funny.
Guys, don't pump your services in my chat. I don't like banning people, but I have to if you do that shit. But yeah, Joe, I was talking about next Wednesday for Nvidia. Feel free to jump on the show with us during Power Hour if you're around. I'm gonna try to get a little powwow together for that so we can have some fun and watch whoever joins us that throws lottos on get absolutely nuked by them.
Not gonna be me, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't tend to
gonna
play
be
earnings.
me.
I'm a coward. I will like depending on the reaction, I might scalp futures during the Nvidia drop, but
Yeah.
We'll
Hey, maybe
see.
I'll join you. Maybe
We'll
I'll join
see.
you. I'm gonna try to find what that drawdown is on here, so I don't like.
it's 1,000, I guarantee it.
But
I think
Okay.
I think that one, the one you're on, he who shall not be named. Appreciate it, Rajesh.
I'll show you after. I'll show you after the show. I'll show.
Yeah,
you.
I
But look
can't
at that, we
plug
got our
anything
we
like
got
that,
our-
Rajesh. This is an unusual whales show, and so I can't be giving out free plugs and shit.
We got our bearish drop down there too, man.
Hey, look where they
We
held
got our
though.
bearish drop on
74.10.
Periscope.
They
Yeah.
bounced at 74.10.
Yeah,
Goddamn right.
almost. You know.
That's how I look at the heavier ends of these negative gamma ranges. The heavier ones, I look for support or extreme acceleration. The way they bounced support now, I expect them to back test that 74.30 from below yet again. They're still staying inside that wide ass range they set out of the open. And they're gonna hang out there, man. I'm telling you, this is gonna keep ranging like this until we get a breakout. And right now, yeah, this looks like a massive breakout, but it wasn't. They couldn't clear that negative gamma zone into the higher up strikes with positive gamma, rejected, and they've just been ranging ever since with lower lows and lower highs relative to prior. So it's ranging still in the downtrend that the net premiums were kind of signaling for us the whole time we bounced. They're kind of hanging out. Right now we're in a diddle in the middle spot. Diddle in the middle. Well, with that said, folks, it is noon. I'm sure some of you homies on the East Coast are getting peckish. So we're going to get the hell out of your hair. Where did I put that? Where'd it go? Hold on.
Screen.
I lost something. I lost the thing. Hold on. Where'd it go? Nope. No, there we go. Wait. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. I just needed to copy this over to that screen. Today, Tucker is... Where the hell is my shit? Oh, my God. I'm just sucking it up with my transitions. Tucker today is a discount code. Yeah, don't diddle in the middle, Ben. Exactly. Diddling in the middle is how you get chopped up because you keep changing your sentiment and direction because a side has not been chosen yet, and you're just going to get chopped the hell up. Happens to me all the time. I fall into it sometimes. I'm trying really hard not to fuck around in the middle anymore. Real quick, before we get out of your hair, folks, if you came in late and you missed anything we discussed, don't worry about it. This is going to be posted permanently, both on Substack and YouTube. Twitter sucks ass with VODs, so it's going to be available via the tweet you joined from. But other than that shit, you're not going to find it again. But our Substack and our YouTube channel will have this video housed permanently. For the rest of today, if you came in late, this show will still be there. Don't worry. A lot of explanations, a lot of good shit. Maybe I'll make up some clips next week for some of our breakdowns that we did today because we had some good questions and some good explanations. If you came in late and missed all the code dropping during the show, it's right there down at the bottom where Tucker usually is. Stream 25 is the code for 25% off your first 3 months on the monthly tier, API, Flow, anything. This code will work on it on our site. It also applies to annual subscriptions. You'll get 25% off of those, and that's like a shitload of money on the bigger tiers. Yeah. I'm a lifetime whale from before I worked here, but I mean, that was just like Anthony. That was a fucking steal. It never gonna happen again.
Yeah, I don't even want to say how much we paid
Stream 25 for that 25% off, folks. There are still a good handful of uses for that code, but no matter how many uses it gets today, whether it reaches the limit or not, that code is gonna get nuked at the end of the day, whether it reaches the limit or not. So last chance into the weekend to get that 25% off any tier. I'm not going to do them every single show, so don't hold your breath there, and any site-wide sales will not be this steep. This is exclusive to WhaleWatch viewers, and nobody else gets to see it or use it because they're not even going to know it exists. Only you guys do. So jump on that shit. Let us know if you have anything else you want to see for the show. We're building this out. We're playing things along as we go. I'm going to start setting up guests, educators, hopefully a couple of market psychologists to help out with that, because I'm of the mind and a living example that psychology is more important than the fucking strategy you're trading with half the time. So definitely stay tuned for that. We'll be back again Monday morning, right at 9 a.m. Eastern. Same places, Substack, YouTube, Twitter. Same shit we're going to do. I'll be back to scalping. I just took today off because I got pissed off yesterday because my account got locked for a few hours and I was mad about it. And so I played it safe today. But hey, we'll be back on Monday. We'll be back to partying it up. And we will see you guys then. Have a good weekend. And I hope y'all party harder than me. Might be hard.